Nature isn't as quiet as you think it is. It is loud, so incredibly loud, but not in the way you're familiar with. Not with the growls and snarls of animals, the sound of the wind whirling, or even the waves crashing upon the sand. It speaks and it sings in every little breath and movement. When the stars twinkle, it's music. The knot in a tree, a single message of the trunk's thoughts and memories. Every ocean current, a murmur of the path it has yet to take. And all of these small intricacies of the world press upon me, willing me to lend my ears to their thoughts and desires, their life and their future. It's overwhelming. And yet, if I had to turn my back on the song that follows my every step, that rocks me to sleep as I slumber beneath the night sky, only emptiness awaits. I'd be falling back into a hollow life, straining for something that is always just beyond my reach. And so I'm here, blooming with the melody that grows every day, continuing to listen to the song that guides me until I'm able to play along. And one day, I'll compose my own aria to sing amongst the stars.
There is a great war emerging, a war between righteousness and evil, the light and the darkness, between the truth and the lies. As this great war wages right beneath the surface, it threatens to drown whom it touches. The war for my soul threatens to tear me apart. The truth of the great Triton protector has shown me the lies of a false god who deceived my tribe, the Nalos. Now they remain manipulated by the lies and isolated from the other Tritons. Within my body, the light of Prasanna ignites a great flame, but I have been touched by the darkness of the Shadowfell. The divine light and the shadows have given me the blessings to use my powers to help and defend the individuals of this world. May my mind, heart, and soul be filled with righteousness and not fully engulfed in the evils that have influenced my people. May I have the strength to face my indiscretions of my past and save the Nalos from certain death. May I find balance through this war, to use my love and the pain that I have endured to protect the very people that mean the world to me. For my new tribe, my new family. This war remains, but I will fight it gladly until I become one with the protector of the infinite seas, Proximus.
Hey! Hi! I don't have time for this. No offense, very busy. Hand me that red flask. The one on the left. Your other left. Oh, it's Winnie, sea scavenger extraordinaire. Shouldn't she be scavenging? Yes, I should. But no, there's things out there. Star things. Powerful things. World-changing things that need to be investigated. There's something... Jeffrey, don't eat that. Something I know I knew. There's so much I don't remember. Don't know. I have to relearn it. But how? So, I'm here, experimenting. Trying not to set the ship on fire. I don't even know what I'm looking for, exactly. Can a star be created? Can you get close to making a star? How do you reverse engineer the biggest magical object you've ever come across when you don't even have it anymore? See, I'm really good at the questions, but all I'm finding so far are more of them and no answers. Well, and a potion that makes you, really strong, but that's not what I wanted. Hey, do you... No, Jeffrey, don't eat that!
The freedom was what I was searching for. I found it in the crumbled remains of a statue. I found it in the sails of a stolen warship. I found it in a spark. Or a flame, rather. But I know it's not real. The shadows that wither and watch at night remind me of that. Each soul that I've marked in order to protect others reminds me. It all reminds me that I wasn't strong enough to stand on my own. I couldn't escape without selling my soul to an even worse evil. Or what was left of my soul anyways. It wants to consume all it can. All the power that Domaris has to offer, all the life that it can take. I can't let it take any more than it already has, any more than I've already given. I will not be the reason that this world ends. Come hell or high water, this can only end one way. Because I have too much to lose if it doesn't. I can't lose it all again. I won't lose it all again. Not this time, you fickle fit bastards.
I shall not see a world that will be dear to me. Woods without fruit, fishless seas. I am Fiach of the Rowan. Trouble's coming, and as per usual, I have to be right in the middle of it. Guess it's what I signed on for. Not that I had much choice in the matter.
Waves crash on the beach of an endless sea. In them you hear a voice, a beckoning lore you have heard so many times before. It is the song of the horizon. She calls to you. She sings of endless wonders and untold horrors, of golden promises and dire warnings, and you know her song. It has always been there. Listen, can you hear it? The wind is in your favor, the tide is rising, the sea is yours for the taking, and your ship awaits. Fair winds and following seas, brave mariner. May fortune find you when the horizon calls.
Ahoy and welcome to Horizon's Call, everybody. I am Derek Sword. I use he, him pronouns. I am your GM for this game. I am your guiding compass as we navigate the treacherous seas of Domaris, and I'm very excited to have you here joining us. Now actually hear the music that I'm playing. Fantastic. So we are joined again by the very lovely Kaila, who is coming back from a brief hiatus. So Scarlett is joining us again, as well as our lovely guest LD, and I will have both of them, as well as the rest of our fantastic cast, introduce themselves. A couple of things to kind of note for this game. First of all, again, thank you for joining us. Second of all, if you would like to support this cast in any way, you can do so through tips to our Pally. Anything that you are able to and willing to donate there, give there, tip there, can actually impact this game. So if you are able to give $5, you can give an advantage to somebody. More than that, you give crits to the whole team, advantages to the whole team, even something called a dark or a black spot, which is a complication to our story. And to balance that out, if you do that, I do have to sing a sea shanty, and we have a lovely table that you can roll on for that. All that said, we do have some show stuff as well, or I guess some channel stuff. So if you would like to apply to be in a game on Sword and Key, we have 3 applications out right now for 6 different games, all upcoming. So we have a 12-week Humblewood campaign you can apply to. We have a one-shot of A Night of Fright, which is Scooby-Doo D&D, and we have 4 additional one-shots that are going to be along with A Night of Fright all throughout the month of October, which we are playing those games in support of Oceana.org, which is a fantastic organization that works to preserve our world's oceans. And the oceans are terrifying, so it felt fitting to do that in October. You can check out all of those on our beacons.ai/Sword and Key, as well as on all of our social media, Instagram, Blue Sky, Twitter. They're all posted there, and you can apply to all those forms, one of those forms, whatever you would like to do. But it's a great opportunity if you would like to be in one of our games. All that said, I'm going to stop talking for a second, have these people say a little bit about themselves. So, Mare, if you don't mind starting us out.
Hello, hey, hi, my name is Mare. I use they, she pronouns, and I am playing your Soul Knife, Rogue, Star, Druid, Centaur, Acacia, who is, 2 seconds from breaking the Stormcaller's neck.
2 seconds, 2 hit points. Absolutely. Next up, I have Who do I have? I have Eva.
Hi, hello. I'm Eva. Use she, her pronouns, and today I am playing your alchemical artificer sea elf Winnie, who also uses she, her pronouns.
Fantastic. And Winnie is, not to spoil a recap, but has taken a deep dive out of combat, only to find herself in some deeper waters, both literally and figuratively. Next up, our fantastic returning guest, the last time that we are graced by her wonderful presence, but LD.
Oh, hey, it's me. I'm LD, or Lady Dame. I am back playing the Hexblade Order of the Profane Soul Blood Hunter / rogue, known as Fia of the Rowan. Oh, she's a harpy. Don't know if you can tell with the wings and stuff, but she's fine, by the way. She's definitely not looking a little rough right now.
Yeah, she's
Definitely, fine. Yeah. Definitely didn't get into a really big combat. Next up, Mikyl.
Hi, fam. I'm Mikyl, he, him pronouns. I'm playing Proximus. Your Triton Shadow Sorcerer Paladin of the Infinite, Guardian of the Infinite Seas. I don't know why this was so tough for me. Hi, it's Saturday.
It certainly is. It's very much a Saturday. It's very much, as LD was pointing out before our show, Mercury apparently is in retrograde. I learned what that is. It's different than the sports drink. But apparently it affects technology sometimes. So here I am being an astrology bitch. I guess I'm joining the club. I am a Virgo with, I guess, the rest of it's almost all Aries, which feels weird. Last but absolutely not least, welcome back, Kaila.
Hi, hello. My name is Kaila. Use she, her pronouns, and I will be playing our Siren Warlock, Scarlet Shores, who also uses she, her pronouns, and I am so happy to be back.
Very excited to have you back. As I noted, I am a Virgo, so actually this is my birthday month. So if you want to consider it that way, please consider giving tipping through our Pally to support these lovely folks. That's all I want for my birthday, is for these people to be in some way compensated for the time that they take every Saturday to play these amazing characters and tell this amazing story. And we do it all, we do it all on camera because it's fun to share it with other people, and we hope you enjoy it. All that said, we do have a recap. So, Mare, I believe, if I hope I'm right.
Yes,
go ahead and take it away.
I'd would first like to say thank you to Eva, who recapped last session for Kaila like 30 minutes after we ended stream. So I'm literally just yoinking from that. I will not read it from word.
It's the way to do it. Yeah.
So thank you, Eva, for technically doing my recap. So last session, we started off with both Proximus and Acacia talking with the king, who we both noted was dying as each lightning strike that hit him drained away some of his spirit and life force. While on the other hand, Winnie and Fia were having a lovely conversation, I use this term very sparingly, with the Stormcaller, who is essentially the King Giant's right hand druid type lady. She's a stormy little bitch, we have recently discovered. But eventually both Fia, Winnie, and the Stormcaller came up to reconvene with the king, and we all got back together. There were some conversations that we had, which mostly involved us talking with the king and Proximus telling him stories of his past before he, struck by a final bolt of lightning, was pulled into the afterlife. After that, the Stormcaller sleight of handed the ring we were after, which is the elder ring of this device that we were meant to go find. We called her out on it. Fia grabbed her wrist with her whip, and Acacia surprised horse from an osprey to a horse and knocked it out of her hand, where it fell into little Jeffrey's bag of holding, mouth and stomach. That did not last long, as the Stormcaller smashed Jeffrey to a pulp. and then we all proceeded to beat the shit out of her. We last left off towards the end of the session with her showing that she has become krakenified with kraken tentacles. There is a large kraken with someone riding it on its way, as well as Scarlet, her sisters, and some humpback whales. Oh, and there's also undead giants of the Kings of Past. It's fine.
Totally fine. Yes, some humpback whales, some sperm whales. I'm just I'm doing a look-see here. Winnie, roughly, I'll give you like a quick rundown of all the stuff that you have in the bag of holding that was in Little Jeffrey. Like, what's maybe the heaviest thing in there?
Weirdly, I can probably tell you. I should have worn my glasses. The heaviest thing,
Yes.
it would be the mirror or the half plate. The mirror.
Okay.
It's 50 pounds.
Okay. Would you say you roughly have over 100 pounds, 200 pounds? What are we looking at right now?
Those two are 90. Just under. I wouldn't have that. So it's going to be like 99 pounds.
In total?
Inside the bag, not including the bag, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's Mirror of Life trapping, the half plate, which is 40, a net, which is 3, and then a vial of acid, I guess, which says it's 2 pounds, which is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life.
A lot of acid. Well,
yeah.
and the other thing you have is the Elder Ring, which you...
Oh, yeah,
shrunk.
I don't know the
weight of that.
It's 25
So-
pounds.
Oh.
Because it was 50, right?
Well, no, it was a couple hundred, and it's...
Oh, yeah.
So you made it smaller to fit in the bag. I don't think you're going to shatter the bag.
No,
but I just
'cause
wanted...
a couple hundred. It holds 500 pounds.
Exactly.
'Cause-
That's what I'm saying.
But you're right. I did cancel the reduce on it, so it is full size inside the bag.
Yes.
Yeah, but it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't sending Acacia to the astral plane.
It's fine.
To be clear, I was basing that off of you saying a couple hundred, meaning like 2 to 3.
Right.
Yeah.
And it can hold 5. That is.
Yeah.
So you
Okay.
are.
We're good.
Yeah. I wouldn't put another ring in there, is what I'm saying. All right.
Do they have another
we-
ring?
No.
No.
We are going to pick up in the middle of combat. So let's get the combat music still going, because thank you, Mayor, by the way, for that recap. I should start doing more inspiration. I often forget that inspiration actually exists.
You know what? Everybody should get inspiration every time they do a recap.
Every time they do a recap. That makes sense. So
Yeah.
Mayor, go ahead and take an inspiration point for that. And so every time it goes around, you can go ahead and take an inspiration point, even if I am silly enough to forget to say so.
Do I get inspiration for doing the first draft? I don't really need it.
I feel like
thought it
that's
was funny.
fair.
We've all done. Technically, we've
Yeah.
all done we've all done a recap so far. So maybe we all get an
Exactly.
inspiration.
Yeah,
Back
you
now.
all can take an inspiration point. You
Yes.
can't have more than one. So
Use
yeah,
it before
bear
your
that in
next
mind.
recap.
Can I just
Right.
get one for being ridiculously hot?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely, of course.
Anything for Fia.
Can I
Seriously,
roll with
LD, I
advantage
mean,
this whole session as an engagement present?
Just yeah. Oh, by the way, congratulations
right.
to
Oh,
Kaila and
yeah.
Ali on their engagement. We haven't said that
Congratulations.
on to her digital face. So congratulations to you two. We're looking forward to the Rising's Call wedding that you both are planning. Okay, well, it is the Storm Herald's turn. She's real rough. She's not looking great. This is probably going to be her last ditch effort kind of deal. So, first of all, I'm going to see if she recharges her psychic wave attack. And oh, that's the wrong type of die. It's like there shouldn't be an 8 on it. So she rolled a 5. She recharges on 6, so she does not get that. So instead, let me pull up my map. She is going to take her last attack on, I guess it's going to be Acacia. She's going to be able to reach Fia and the Storm Giant, because Proximus, you are too far away. So, Acacia, you are going to take a Trident attack.
Cool.
And that is going to be...
I'm going to use my reaction to do Uncanny Dodge.
Sure. So, yeah, 24 to hit.
Yep, that'll
You're going
hit.
to take... so this is all part of it, so we'll have it all at the end. So it's 16 piercing damage. 20... Or I'm sorry, this is just because she's only using it one-handed. And I'm sorry, this is also with the sword. It's just Trident on hers, but she did pick up the Storm Giant King's sword, so that is what she's using. So it is, yes, 16 piercing and 10 lightning. So 26 points in total. So if
13.
You're having that would be 13. Yes. Fia, you are going to get smacked with a tentacle.
Great.
Her hair tentacle.
Favorite way to go.
So that is a, what is it, 32 to hit?
I think that hits.
Yeah, I would
sure?
say so.
Yeah.
You are going to take 18 bludgeoning damage.
Oh.
And she is going to grapple you with that tentacle. So she's going to be pulling you towards her with this like Medusa-like, Marvel's Medusa-like hair whip kind of tentacle grabs you and starts to pull you closer. So
We're going to use a hellish rebuke on that.
Okay, go for it.
Cool.
Is that a save or is that an attack?
It is a save.
Okay,
Dexterity
what's the save? Okay.
Dex 16.
Okay. Rolled a 15 plus 2, so that is 17. So she succeeds on that.
Mother. Oh, I do. I still take half damage. Hooray.
Okay. What is half
Amazing.
damage?
I don't think you can do less than 2.
What?
I don't think you can do less than 2 damage on this.
No, I don't. I don't think I can. Because it's 3d10, my friends.
Well, LD, I also do want to see if you're still standing, because that wasn't all of the damage.
Oh, good.
So
okay,
So
hold
what
on.
I say? I said 18 bludgeoning, you are grappled, and then you also are going to take 16 psychic. So are you still
Okay.
standing after that?
Sorry, say that
That's-
one more time.
I believe that's 16 plus 18, so...
16 plus 18. I
yes.
am still standing, but
Okay.
Fia is looking real rough.
Great.
Okay.
I
So
am
yes, go
still-
ahead and do the damage then.
So the damage it was 17 plus 6, so 24.
Can I
Okay,
just
yes.
ask, because I can't see the map? I'm at the window. I can't see. Fia's not within 30 feet of me, right?
No, you are off the map that we are currently playing on.
Okay.
Because you dove so far off of it. That
Okay.
Winnie is not on the map.
And
Well, because I
basically-
climbed back up. But yeah, just.
I don't think you could have climbed all the way back up in a single turn.
I think you have half speed
I
when
think-
climbing.
Well, she does have
Oh,
spider,
spider
climb.
climb. That's right.
But even then,
Yeah.
it was a couple hundred feet that you did.
I think I was still like. Okay. Either way, it doesn't matter.
I thought
So-
you said 50 because I specifically.
You said 50.
I remember asking
Did I say
how
50?
deep is
Okay.
the dive.
Because I was 10
Right.
feet away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You're
didn't
right.
make it
I
all
was
the way to
I was
the top.
saying it was probably about as tall as a storm giant. So I was saying it was probably 50 to 60 feet.
Okay,
You're right.
okay,
I do
Yeah,
remember.
but you're
that.
right. I wasn't at the window, so I apologize for interrupting.
Okay,
as
so,
as the
yeah, Fia, go
tentacle
ahead and
wraps
finish her.
around, I was gonna say as the tentacle wraps around Fia, she just lets out like a piercing screech. There's not really words to this hellish rebuke, and the fire that the whip, which is already encased in flames, sort of like extends out towards her rings, and they appear briefly like they're on fire, and the like brief flash of the triple face happens as the tentacle wraps around her.
Huh.
Just-
As the Stormcaller falls to the ground, this hellish rebuke finishing her off. She crumbles in kind of in on herself, and in the last throes of her life rolls onto her back, and you would watch as her neck spasms backwards and this light behind her eyes, not the electricity that you saw before, but this like white piercing light. And her jaw extends open, and her arm outstretches and points to each of you. And as she does so, you hear her voice in her mind. Her I would say it's not even the voice that you heard, Fia. It's not the same voice you heard in your mind before. There's a distortion to it. And to each of you, Fia, she points and says, "The stars will fall into the endless depths. They have seen you, and they are waiting." Proximus, you see the hand extend to you. "Only through death will your people be saved. Their blood will color the oceans." Acacia, you will never have a home that is safe until one knife can meet 3 swords. Winnie, I guess you wouldn't see her pointing at you, but you hear the voice in your mind. "You will be the death of your brother and your family, and others will celebrate the blood on your hands." And lastly, Scarlet, you not even knowing what this voice is, but you would hear it in your mind. "You cannot kill what cannot die. To break your chains, you must give of blood and flesh. She is coming back." And with that, we're back in the combat order.
Cool beans.
So, yeah. So with that then, the Stormcaller is taken out of the run. Scarlet, it is your turn. You could use your whale's movement to basically get to where the rest of the combat is, or you also can see with your siren army that there is a kraken coming in, kind of like at the perpendicular to where you are. The kraken is coming in from the east, you are coming from the south. You have hundreds of sirens at your command. I am basically going to give you almost every type of charm spell that there is to utilize against this kraken, utilizing your army almost as one. So if you would like to do anything with that, things like Gaius, things that you might not have otherwise access to, or you may act independently and have the army kind of do their thing, and I can take care of them. So that's where I'll leave it. So if you want to join the rest of your companions, that's great. If you want to command your army, also great.
Yeah, I think I will command the army to take care of the Kraken, and I will finally rejoin my party and my friends.
Fantastic. So with a whale dropping Scarlet off, Scarlet, I will place you on the board here. I'll pop you right down here through this window. There you go. I don't know why it always turns you on a right angle. There we go. Scarlet, what you would see is a throne room made of fulgurite, which is lightning-struck sand. You can see that there is one dead storm giantess who has a lot of kraken-like features. There is Big Acacia, there is Big Fia, there is regular Proximus, a crushed Jeffrey, and an eelhound, a shadowy eelhound. And then, yes, 2 regular storm giants, both armed, as well as a seemingly mobile storm giant skeleton that is armored and armed as well, wearing a crown that is sitting on the throne here. And I will change him over to the proper thing for that. So it is your turn. What would you like to do?
I do have one question.
Absolutely.
Why is Honey there?
That's what I had for the eelhound.
Okay. I was like,
Valid question. It's the closest thing I had to a dog.
That's fair. That is fair. Oh gosh, cool. I'm going to. I think it'll. Yeah, Eldritch Blast will hit the skeleton. It's within range. It's hell range. 600-foot range at this point for Eldritch Blast. So I think I can hit it if I can roll high enough.
Yeah, go for it. Has an AC of 13, so I would imagine you'd be able to hit.
I hope so. All 3 beams trained on it. That is a 14.
Yes, yeah.
So, I'm gonna use that 11 points for the first one, 12 points for the second one, 8 points for the third one.
All right. You watch as these. Hold on. There we go. You watch as these 3 eldritch blasts. Your friend Scarlet now joining you. The first time that any of you have seen her, aside from Winnie at this point. You can see that she has come to your rescue, hopped off of a whale, hopped into this throne room, and just cast these eldritch blasts into this storm giant king, causing it to kind of shudder a little bit, and these dents in this breastplate armor all impact. Okay, it is the skeleton's turns. I am going to actually have a wisdom saving throw for the skeleton, this one independently, because you've just killed the puppeteer, basically. And I'll give them advantage thanks to Scarlet. Okay, what is your... +4. Okay. The storm giant does not seem to shake the necromancy, the necromantic magic that animated it, and it is going to be aggressive towards all of you, at least for this turn. So, let's see. It does have a couple attacks here. This storm giant skeleton is going to summon a lightning bolt into its hand that calls down from the storm above, and it is going to cast it at, let's see, what's range on that? 500 feet. Scarlet, you were the first one to attack it. It is going to cast a lightning strike at you. Welcome back.
That's fair.
So I will need a dexterity saving throw, DC 15, please.
That's only a 10.
Okay. You were going to take 12d8 of lightning damage. That is 47 points of lightning damage.
Congratulations on that engagement, Kaila.
Yeah. Welcome back. Hope you're having a great time.
Good.
That is it for its turn. So,
Thank God.
Next up, we have Proximus. Proximus, the skeleton has just animated. The 2 alive storm giants are not really sure what to do. One of them helped you fight the Stormcaller. The other one still hasn't really shaken the death of their ruler and the betrayal of their vizier, essentially. But what would you like to do?
Understandable. Really, truly. I am going to have the eel hound close the distance. So I believe if he goes... Oh, I don't know if I can move him.
You might not be able to.
Okay.
Where would you like to put him?
Just right where Jeffrey, like 10, 15, like right in front of... I don't want to
in front of
obstruct
Jeffrey?
anybody's.
Okay. All right.
And I am going to move up to... Now, on the side of his throne, right?
Mhm.
It's all open, right?
Yes.
So
yeah,
I would say there's probably like a ledge on the I'm gonna fly up to that to stay out of the way, because I don't want to be Eldritch Blast. Did.
Okay.
And then Proximus would say, Shadow Ocean Breathing, 12th form, Persona's Rage, and Divine Smite slash at him twice. And he is undead, correct?
He is undead.
Oh, great. 26 and a dirty 20.
Yeah, absolutely, both hit.
So I am going to Divine Smite at level twice at level 4. And I'll be back with the damage.
Okay. And when you do, give me a religion check with advantage as well, please.
Okay, let me do that now.
Okay.
You said religion?
Yeah, especially because you're using divine magic.
17?
Okay. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, just let me know whatever damage is, and Fia, it is your turn. You're muted.
I know. Okay.
Okay, sorry. You're good.
No, it's fine. Okie dokie. So sorry. Just okay. We've got our two giants who are mostly on our side at this point still.
I would say pretty neutral to either of you.
Neutral's fine.
They were aggressive. They're not fully on your side. They kind of just you had a similar
right.
You had the same enemy there for a moment. They're gonna have to make another roll as far as fighting the skeleton of their recently deceased king.
The skeleton's the king, which is where I'm close by. Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
Great. I'm not in range of our skeleton king friend, right?
He does have a reach of 10 feet, so I believe you are.
Okay, perfect. I know I'm up in the air, but it's a giant, so it doesn't matter. Cool. Okay, I am going to... We're gonna, as our bonus action, just hex the damn thing. Nope, I'm not gonna do that, because it's definitely undead. Lies. All right. I think in that case... Oh, I shouldn't do it. But I'm It doesn't... Our undead king doesn't really seem like it has blood in him anymore. Or does he? Does.
Full skeleton.
Full skeleton.
Yeah, when the
no
last
blood.
lightning struck, it took everything that was goopy.
Right.
Took all the juicy bits.
Totally skelly friend. Neat. Cool. Love that for me. Can't really fuck with him in that way then. I'm just double checking to make sure that that is true and that I can actually do things. Yeah. Creatures that don't have blood in their bodies are immune to blood curses. Cool. Then I will hit him with my whip twice. Is how that's gonna go.
Go for it.
Okie dokie. Like, blood hunter, not so helpful against things that without blood. It's great. Cool. Ooh. That first one is a 23 to hit.
Yeah.
And the second is a 28 to hit. So
Both of yep.
Then we've got 1d4, and both of those I have an extra 1d4 because I'm still enlarged. Those are all 6s, my friend. There's a lot of stuff happening. And then oh shit. Sorry. I can't roll for shit right. Sorry, I'm like.
No, you're totally good.
Okay.
Oh, so 78 points of damage, 49 from Divine Smite.
Okay.
God, I love paladins. They're so great.
I got extra because it's undead.
Yay. Okay, so that is 3, 5, 3. So for the first hit is, and then the D8 for the blood damage. So 14 for the first hit.
Okay.
If you need, that's 1 point of fire damage, and the rest is the normal whip damage.
The only thing that they are vulnerable to, the only thing they're resistant to is cold. They are immune to lightning, poison, and thunder. So,
okay, great.
Yeah, fire damage should be
cool.
good. So I'm sorry, how much was that?
That first one, what did I say? 14.
14, okay.
And then the second one is 16 plus 5.
So 21?
I'm sorry, 14 plus 5, so 19. My bad.
19. Okay.
Yeah. And that, I believe, is all I can do.
Okay.
That
Go
is-
ahead and give me a religion check as well with advantage.
Oh, wait. I forgot. I can throw a brandy and smite into those.
Yeah, you can if you'd like.
Yeah, I'll do a brandy and smite. Why not? For
Okay.
funsies. Which is an additional 4 points of radiant damage.
Get it.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you
And
said a
then-
religion check?
With advantage, please.
With advantage. Perfection. Oh, okay. All right. That is a 17.
I'll have them roll another time. Okay. It is not their turn to act on, but Fia, I would say that you would note as you land this branding smite on this storm giant. And Proximus, you would probably notice this too, having the religion check that you did. The necromantic magic that's kind of behind their eyes, this like lime green purple-esque kind of combination that's just necromancy magic, seems to fade, and the storm giant, kind of the skeleton, takes less of an aggressive pose and kind of just like looks down at their own skeletal hands for a moment. So that is all I will leave that at. Next up, it is the storm giant, the regular storm giant's turns. I'm going to have them roll their wisdom to see what they're going to figure out here. Both of them, having seen their king just rise from the dead, are going to kneel with their swords in front of them. So we can consider them prone for the sake of it, but they are not actively hostile towards their skeletal king. And that brings us to top of the order with Acacia.
So I don't think I have the religion check to make any sort of thing, but as this is like the demeanor is changing, is that something I'm able to catch? Is that becoming less aggressive?
Yeah, what's your passive insight?
17.
Yeah, with a 17, you would note that the king does not seem as aggressive as before, and has kind of taken a more it's hard to tell a skeleton that doesn't have facial features, but yes, definitely a more contemplative stance to them, and they aren't like actively swiping at your friends anymore.
And the king's name was King Skjor, was it?
Skjor.
Okay,
correct.
that's what I thought. Seeing that and there's no other immediate threats on the top of this fulgurite.
Where you currently are, I would say, unless you want to start something, there isn't anything.
Okay. In that case, seeing the demeanor change, I will lower my sword and take a respectful stance, and I will not attack.
Okay. Would you like to ready anything just in case?
I will ready an attack if he begins to get hostile again. But as
Noted.
of right now, no.
Okay. All right, then we are to Winnie. So, Winnie, you have climbed up the side of the fulgurite with your spider hands and feet. You have, I can say, you're just cresting into the throne room itself, and you can see what I described: the storm giant standing, I would say, in front of their throne, even though they kind of look like they're on it right now. Everyone seems to have taken at least a bow or active aggression against this king. You may absolutely communicate telepathically if you would like, but you also see Scarlet, who has joined you.
First, I'm going to scream, Scarlet! So happy to see you. So glad you're back. We're sorry about the tentacle giant lady and also the krakens, but it's probably not our fault. And then on the heels of that, seeing the Storm King or the King Skald, I want to poke him with my mind, and see if he's like rejoined the mind link somehow. Like not an aggressive mind poke, but like Facebook, yeah, for old people, like old dead giant people.
Please, let's not bring back Poke Wars.
I know. God, ow, ow, ow. Sorry, something on my finger really hurts.
It's called the cat. She scratches sometimes.
She's sleepy.
Winnie, I will say, for right now, because we haven't gotten back to that turn order, you're getting a dial tone, but I will return to you on the turn order. There is not enough sentience for this thing to reconnect at this point, but that will change here shortly. So, anything else you want to do for your turn?
Yes. In the mind link, probably, because I don't feel like shouting across a great distance. Proximus? Maybe if you remind him why he likes you, because he liked you more than I think anyone else, maybe he won't eat us, or whatever it is undead giant storm-eaten kings do.
He doesn't have a stomach, Winnie.
Yeah,
Well,
to be
I
fair,
don't
being eaten by a skeleton is probably like the best case scenario.
Yeah, I mean, he's like super big, so I don't know if it matters. We just go like ding, ding, ding down through his ribs. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
it's Plinko. Yeah.
Also, there's a really good reason, hopefully, for him to be on our side, because there's like 50 more of him like coming up from below.
I'm sorry,
I can't remember. Yeah, they're coming out of the crypts or the barrows or the whatever. This feels very culturally insensitive. I feel like I should know this, but wherever the storm giants keep their dead royalty, they're between us and the Kraken and whoever's with the Kraken. And
what do you mean, Kraken?
I said that.
I said, tell us.
Yeah, I know there's been a lot going on, but that was like the last thing I said before we had a weird, like, it felt like a whole week, where I was just like clinging to the side of this rock. Wild. Anyway, yeah, Kraken, other sirens, and people who are with the Kraken, singular. I know it's one of those words, like moose, but it's just one Kraken. Okay, more undead royal giants, probably.
This is not.
This is a lot in 6 seconds.
Yes, this is an amazingly long turn. Let's wrap this up.
Well, I had to clarify because, yeah, to make sure to recap also what she had said previous turns.
I understand. Listen, miscommunication is a great quality of a story. So yeah,
it's Winnie's stage name. Yeah. So would I'm willing to use my action on this. Historically, would I know, or religiously would I know, if undead giants might listen to their another undead giant king? I realize they are all royalty, but like,
Arcana, perhaps.
Okay. D&D Beyond, why are you going to do me like this? This is good. This is fine. I would say that is going to be a 1d20. I should have thought of this 8 minutes ago. So my
I was gonna say on your laptop, D&D Beyond is probably not what you should be using to roll.
I had it pulled up on my phone, and then when I went back for it, it had taken me away from my character sheet, so that was not helpful. Final question.
I need the roll before I answer the first question.
Well, it's I just don't want to be hanging out in the window. Like, I would like to be on solid ground if that's fine.
You're on solid ground.
Okay. Really just killing time.
Do you have physical dice in the nightstand next to you?
No, I have a dice box.
That's oddly specific, but yes.
Well,
yeah.
I was gonna say you could also probably use a Google Roller, which is definitely going to be faster.
I'm begging you. You have to understand. I'm doing all of these things. Nothing is working. I love all of you individually. 11 plus 10 is 22. I can math.
Okay. With the 22, then you would probably know that if necromantic magic is activating these storm giants in the first place, and that necromantic magic needs to be shaken in some way, maybe if this king has shaken it through damage, he might be able to command the others. It would take a great act of magic on this recently freed king's part. Might be able to do that, probably not in his current form.
Okay, also,
like, Winnie's never seen anything like this before, so you could probably reason out some parts, but you're not going to know for sure.
Okay. I would also argue, psychically, undead or not, like, we still don't need to stick around. We can still just bail. I'm begging you. Yeah. To be clear, it did seem like he was shaken enough by magic.
What's Winnie's passive insight?
Jesus, I was 16. No, insight is still 16. Good work.
Okay. With 16, you would be able to reason that the king is not aggressive towards you in the same way that Acacia figured that out.
Okay. In which case, I'm going to cast Blur on myself and get as far away from the window as possible, in case anyone's coming
into
up behind
the throne
me.
room.
Yeah, I don't want to hang out with the rest of the undead royalty.
I'm just making sure you're not diving out again.
Well, no one seems to want to leave, so I'm going to hang out here until we all decide as a group this time to bail.
All right, so moving 30 feet in. 30. Okay. You have moved further into the throne. Did you want to move towards everybody else, or kind of away from the Storm Giant King?
Nah, I'm good moving towards everyone else.
Okay. All right, we'll put you like right there then. Okay. Anything else for your turn?
I will specify I would like to get closest to Acacia so I can retrieve little Jeffrey.
Yeah, that's where you're headed.
Yeah. And knowing that is it.
Okay. Then it is Scarlet, your turn.
Blissfully unaware of anything.
Yep.
The whole conversation that just happened.
Shit.
They're still aggressive. Zombie skeleton.
Beneath
No.
you.
Beneath.
Not in the room with you.
Okay. No. I guess I'm just gonna look at everyone and be like, the fuck's going on here?
Not the time to explain.
Then let's go. Got the whole army out waiting. Got Wales. Cross's Mercy is here. Let's
yes.
go.
Good. Agreed.
So, Scarlet, are you gonna leave the throne room at that point? Are you going towards your friends to gather them up? Well, in which direction would you like to head?
I'd just wait to see if they start moving.
Just gonna wait by the door. Yeah.
Just go out the window. Winnie will cry.
You're the one who's already signed your receipt, and you're just waiting by the door of the Applebee's for everybody else.
And
to
waiting
come
for
out,
the Midwesterners to say goodbye. Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. Okay. Would you like to hold any actions for your turn then, since you're not moving or anything?
I'll hold my movement to see if everybody else is gonna head that way.
All right. It is the Skeleton King's turn, and thanks to the damage religion rolls that Fia and Proximus gave, you all would watch as the swirling storm above culminates down to almost this like lightning-filled tornado, which centers on the king. Those of you even within 10 feet aren't touched by wind or lightning, and yet you would watch as this windy, electric-filled fog kind of surrounds the skeleton. You can still see the skeletal structure somewhat within this swirling wind and rain and lightning, and yet it looks very much like the king who was here only moments before. And he stands and nods to Acacia, who has taken the bow, nods to Proximus. Thank you again for your stories, my friends. And he is going to walk steadily over to where you felled the Stormcaller and pick up his sword in this windswept torrential hand. And he is going to look at his storm giants and say, "Our kingdom is under attack. Gather the men. Call Kjalka." And you would watch as one of the storm giants, then I'm just going to combine their turns here since these are all storm giants technically now, reaches to a horn on his waist, and he will put it to his mouth and he will blow. And when it's not a sound that comes outwards like a brass instrument, it's a like shuddering that goes through the ground. It's more like a tremor. This deeply bass note that just like shakes you to your bones. And you all would watch as the center pool, once swimming with fish, all of those fish dive deeper and disappear. And you would watch as the massive head of a creature that I don't think any of you have ever seen before rises and occupies almost the entirety of the pool. It is a mosasaur. That's what was in the trench, should you all have decided to sneak into the kingdom, the trench that surrounds the kingdom itself. I had a whole combat plan for it, but now Kjalka is going to assist all of you as the king turns to her and says, "Defend us." And she dives back below. You watch this massive form flip up with this tail and these flippers that cause a splash to almost everybody in the room. And she dives back down. What none of you see is the Siren army joining with the Storm Giant army and this gargantuan mosasaur, all charging towards this Kraken and her army. And with that, that is going to be it for the Storm Giant's turn. I will say, if you would like to, you all are out of combat now. So we are out of combat order unless anybody else had anything they wanted to do combat-wise.
I don't have anything to do combat-wise, but I will hand off little Jeffrey to Winnie. Scarlet told us to get the fuck out, so I'm going to turn back into an osprey and begin... has the mind link reinitiated with the king?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, it's a lot like hearing somebody when they're on their phone and it's very windy. Like you're getting little bits. He's kind of like trying to talk through the wind, but no, he is reconnected. He is a tempest spirit. He has become what he had intended to be.
Cool.
And I will say, I'm sorry, the other thing I forgot. He does take his sword and plants it into the Fulgurite, and you would watch as this lightning energy shudders outwards. He has turned the rest of the Storm Giant skeletons towards his side, so you do not have to worry about that.
Okay. In that case, I will hand off, as I said, I will hand off little Jeffrey to Winnie, turn back into an osprey, and then following Scarlet's GTFO, I will just say to the king, It was an honor to meet you.
As it was mine. Go forth. Keep each other safe.
Fia is going to pull out one of her healing potions, uncork it, and just down it in one. It's not going to do a lot, but it's something.
Sure.
Wink at the undead king and then lift off. Her feather.
Before Fiat takes off, Proximus will walk over and, as you're drinking the potion, I suppose, touch you on your shoulder and say, I think this will do you a little better, and lay on hands for 30.
Okay.
30 points.
Before she takes off, when that happens. Well, that's nice. Thank you, Flyboy. I owe you one. And then she winks at Proximus and.
Yeah, we don't need to know where those hands were laid. Anything anybody else want to do in
Proximus
the
was a perfect
room?
I was
gentleman.
about to say, Proximus is a gentleman.
Anything anybody else
We'll
want to do in
work
the
on
throne
that.
room, or are you just absconding?
I do want to walk over to the king and do a small bow with my glaive, as we do, as the Tritons do. Honorable King, even in death, you still save your people. I will never forget you. Therefore, you will not die in my mind.
Thank you, Proximus, but I need you to know that death is never the end. Besides, this is a great opportunity for great deeds. Perhaps a new king will rise.
Perhaps.
He will bow to all of you, and that he is going to kind of like turn into this tornado, I guess, this small hurricane, and exit out of this space upwards and outwards towards the battle with the Kraken.
Then I'll fly out of there.
Okay.
Oh, and Smokey disappears. Dissipates into the shadows.
All right, so you all are heading to the ships then? Yes, who's swimming, who's flying? I've got an Osprey, I've got a flying Proximus, and I've got a Fia. What is Scarlet and Winnie doing?
Winnie is going to swim, muttering to herself about how, oh sure, Scarlet says it's an idea, and everybody leaves. Winnie does twice, and nobody thinks it's a good idea to leave. But she'll head. Are we all reconvening on the same ship? I assume Cross's mercy, so that Marcus will be somewhat placated. Have you all talked? Like, y'all came back at the same time. He knows you're fine, right? This wasn't like an accident. Okay, so we don't need to deal with Marcus and his feelings. Okay,
No.
So before we maybe like, hey, like, are we meeting at the Redemption or just fucking off? What are we doing?
I'm keeping an eye on Scarlet and following her, because I want to talk to her, but like she's not part of the mind link right now.
Right, which is fair. This is verbal. This is a verbal question. Where the fuck are we going? Scarlet, the Redemption? Yes, good, great. Okay. Winnie's just gonna jump into the water. She's done.
Do also want to remind you all, Scarlet would have her shell phone again at this point. You all can converse by the shell phone. You'd be leaving Fia out, but
We gave Fia.
Fia has it.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Wait, I thought
You
I
have-
didn't.
No,
I thought we
You
gave
have
it to
Scarlet's.
Marcus.
Marcus has it, but
That's what it was.
fine.
So
I don't
nobody
have it.
told us this was happening?
So Scarlet would
Nobody-
have it, and no.
Okay, Winnie is just done then, and Winnie is
Weather
going to the ship,
interference.
and she is extremely pissed.
That's fair.
I am not part of any shell phone conversation because I am Bird.
Winnie has
Yep.
taken her cell phone out. It is in her bag. She has stowed little Jeffrey in her backpack, big pick, and has tied her bag of holding to her, I don't know, her bandolier or something that's easily accessible.
You need a baby Bjorn for Jeffrey.
But he's broken
Just
at the
in
moment.
general.
I do need a baby Bjorn for little Jeffrey. Yes.
Next project.
Don't make me excited about a little Jeffrey baby Bjorn. Winnie's mad right now. Winnie's going to the redemption.
Okay. Those of you above the water and within it swimming towards the redemption and Cross's Mercy, which both have paired up to fire their cannons towards the impending Kraken and its servants, you all would see that the Siren army as well as the Storm Giants have met them in combat and blows are being exchanged. However, the Sirens seem to have the last word, or song as it were, as they all seem to culminate in this. It's a harmony to some, a cacophony to others, and they seem to cast a spell at the Kraken and its forces, and you all would watch as it turns. And with the Storm Giants chasing it and picking off a few of its servants, the Kraken retreats. And with the ships still firing their cannons at its tail, you all would see as the Siren army seems to turn and come towards the ships. So those of you aboard the ships, after if you were going to start sailing, I guess I'm going to ask, where are all of you sailing at this point?
I'm just along for the ride
Away?
myself.
I was going to suggest
Sailing away?
because that's where Ascension Isle is.
I want my ship. So either,
Oh, that's a good point.
yeah.
Isn't it on the way?
I think it's still
Yeah.
east, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It'd be
yes.
east. It'd be
Yeah, it's east.
Yeah, you could sail directly east and pick up Winnie's ship, which she left at Tomartor.
Yes. But it does seem rude to like just not greet the Sirens. Also, like, what happened to the Kraken and whoever was with the Kraken? Like, I feel like we should still be getting out of Dodge, but like, you know, if
Could I
the
have
Sirens
seen-
need help retreating, or if the Sirens had like an incredible decisive victory, I would like to know that too. Because I think it's rude to sail like 50 miles and then address it. You know,
Maybe like a
Like-
couple miles.
a couple, yeah, like we don't need to be in the middle of it, don't get me wrong. But like, especially if they came all this way, all, what, 10 miles? I feel like they're not that far away. But still, like, it was really nice of them to come and not kill Scarlet. I almost said Kaila like 5 times, and I was like, that's gonna sound weird.
Michael, were you saying something?
Oh, I just wanted to know if I could, if Proximus could have flown over where the Kraken was to see who was with the Kraken.
Sure. Yes. Oh man, because how far above the water would Proximus be? I guess that's my question.
I feel like he would stay at like around 80 feet. Because
Okay.
like, I'm
This would
not
probably
trying
be
to
a
get pulled down.
yeah.
like-
Well, this is also probably going to be if it's that far a perception check with disadvantage, unless you have any type of magical accoutrement that might make that easier.
No.
Okay.
It's 17 and a 2. I didn't see shit.
Okay.
So that is a 4 total.
A 4 total. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. Let's see how I.
Oh,
how
I'm
I
sorry,
this.
a 7. I forgot my perception is not that bad.
It's a dude.
Okay. So, Proximus, you can see that there are several humanoid, we're talking like average human sized creatures of some sort that
Mhm.
you can't see, but like a school of fish surrounding a whale. They are swimming around this very large form of this kraken, these large tentacles and arms extending behind it, these large pincers extending out of it. It's not Echmenodon, which you have seen before, which is probably the largest kraken aside from Eula herself that
Right.
you have ever seen. But it is in the sense of like there's gargantuan, and then in our game there's colossal. This is a colossal kraken. It is a hefty boy. Although it's a lady, not that you would know that. Um, on its back, however, you can spot that there's another humanoid, which seems to, with no reins, with no way of stabilizing themselves, is standing, is standing straight up. Despite the waves pushing against a person, somehow they are riding this kraken like someone would ride a surfboard. And despite you not being able to determine a face or even a species, I would say that you would see eyes illuminated, these green eyes looking up at you that are illuminated from beneath the waves, and a voice thunders outwards, and it says, "Don't worry, Proximus. I'll be back for you. We have to finish what we started."
Sure.
Technically, Proximus, give me a charisma saving throw.
26.
Okay. You can feel this thunderous effect attempting to frighten you, yet you are undaunted.
I don't like that.
So, returning to the ships then, those of you aboard, did everybody go back to the Redemption? Is that what Winnie gave the order for? Okay. A good order to have you all in one spot.
And Winnie's gonna
It's
take
fine.
a minute, as soon as she gets there, to cast mending on little Jeffrey.
Okay. So little Jeffrey kind of all smushed together. Yeah, I would say that you would be able to definitely put him back together with the mending spell.
Pop those dents out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll check and see what hit points that restores, but as long as he's like back up, that's all I would care for at this point.
I probably was not able to grab every piece of him.
Yeah, that's that's fine. Honestly, at some point, Winnie would have explicitly said like the gem of brightness and the bag are like the biggest, most important things, and then any of the like titanium or not titanium,
Mithril,
whatever, mithril,
Mithril and adamantium, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's anything is better than nothing.
Okay. Yeah, little Jeffrey, version 10. Light illuminates back through this gem of brightness, and he just goes, "Ow."
Oh no. Delayed reaction,
baby.
Yeah, to be fair, he didn't really get
buddy.
a reaction turn
Yeah, no.
after being just smashed to death.
Oh, adamantine.
I have seen the void once again. It calls to me.
Jeffrey is the BBEG from the stars, confirmed.
Nobody
Every time
knew.
I come
yeah.
back, I'm less and less me and more of that.
Oh no!
Oh no. Nope.
Just kidding.
Oh no, he's
Okay.
discovered humor.
Jeffrey is
So,
humor.
aboard the Redemption, you all are reunited once again with your lost captain, friend, warlock, Siren Scarlet. What would you all like to do?
Well, welcome back, cousin. Think we have a few questions for you, though.
That is valid.
Winnie's gonna hug her before any questions are made.
As Winnie hugs, Acacia flies up as an osprey, like, next to them, turns back into a centaur, and takes both of them into a hug.
And then Proximus walks up and hugs around everyone.
Fia does not join in the hug.
Fair.
There's already one former bird in there. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were so scared, afraid, worried about you. That's it.
Glad you're not dead or worse.
You know, I was a little worried there for a second that I might end up dead. But very much alive, very much well.
And it looks like you made some new friends?
You could
Reconnected
say
with
that.
your family, for instance?
Could say that. In more ways than one. There's
And
a
with
lot to
that,
go over.
You would watch as the spout of a whale expels next to your ship, followed very shortly by 2 sirens that come aboard. And you know that they are sirens based on their pointed ears, webbed fingers, humanoid, human looking, aside from their rather colorful hair. One of them featuring this very beautiful dark shade of purple, and the other this very vibrant green. The purple-haired siren is older than Scarlet, for sure, but still absolute stunner. They are wearing armor that is made of metallic-looking shells and leathers. It's rather light in comparison to like something Proximus might be wearing, the heavier armor that Proximus wears. They walk aboard and smile these fanged teeth that you would recognize Scarlet having as well. And the purple-haired siren takes off this helmet, letting her hair flow even more freely. And she grabs Scarlet by the back of the head and brings her in for a hug and kisses her on the top of the head and says, "My sweet girl, you did so incredible."
When they first enter, they do get the nastiest side eye for this situation in the first place, though. But I don't say anything.
Well, hello there, cousins.
Ah, a harpy. Hello, Thea. Correct?
It is Fia of the Rowan, thank you very much. But may I ask how you knew that?
I'm very sorry. Serafina, my daughter was telling me all about all of you.
Ah!
Winnie, Acacia, Praximo. I'm joking. I'm
It's
joking.
good
Proximus.
enough.
I'm joking.
You are Scarlet's mother.
I am.
Oh.
And you all are her family as well, as I understand it.
It is a pleasure to meet you.
As it is mine.
I might
Proximus
have.
looks super confused. BT dubs.
I
Winnie
might
puts
have.
a hand on his arm, just like we'll talk about this later.
First, we had to describe like what cousins were and everything else, and it's a
Just getting
He's
real
gonna
fucked
make
up in
chalk, like,
Proximus's brain.
Chalkboard.
Yeah.
Did the red string out?
It's Charlie, like looking at all of the equations. Yes.
Yeah. Well,
Sorry.
will you join us for dinner or lunch? I don't know what time of day it is. Well, Winnie would actually. I don't, but a meal. Will you join us for the appropriate meal of this time of day?
Let me see if I can try a Scarlet accent. I should have been doing that from the beginning.
I've
I
been
will
waiting for
absolutely
this.
do my best. And I am happy to escort you to anywhere that you might be going, especially since you seem to have pissed off a kraken or two in your time.
Maybe more than one or two. It's fine.
multiple.
You all are also more than welcome at the Rock, where we would be happy to keep you safe in this storm unless you had another harbor you were going to. But it would be very nice to spend time with Winnie's friends and family.
Always wanted to see the lair of the
Scarlet's friends and
sirens.
I want to go wherever you just suggested.
Yeah,
I don't
I
care
wanna go
what
there.
rock it is, but I will go. Yes.
Would you all like to see Red Tide Rock, where I've been for the last little bit?
Yes, please.
Sorry, sort of. There was a miscommunication. There was a misunderstanding. It's a long story.
You couldn't have
And we
like
will have
left a
time for it.
note or something.
I didn't really have a choice.
It wasn't my fault.
I look at Scarlet's
It was
mom.
not your fault, Winnie.
I look at Scarlet's mom. You couldn't have left a note or something.
Everything will be explained, but you have to understand that we were under the impression that one of ours was in danger. And we were not totally wrong, just you all were not the danger, which was the misunderstanding. Which is my stage name, by the way.
We should talk more.
Winnie, you are going to love all the stories. Shall we go to Red Tide Rock?
Yes,
I'll show you
sure.
all my home that I got lost from.
Look,
And you
if
were
none of
found
the rest
again.
of you want to go, I want to go, so I'll fly there if I have to.
Do we still have the psychic link? I felt like it was up for a long time, but I can't remember.
I think it was 8 hours. I think
Nope,
it was a long one.
this one was 2 hours.
Oh, okay. The second, that's right, because you concluded the giant on it.
Yeah. So this was
Is
2
it-
hours. I don't know how long we were sailing for. So this would be a day.
Yeah, you could be towards the tail end of it.
I'm pretty sure everyone knows this is psychically. Pretty sure everyone here knows, but just as a reminder, yeah,
What are you trying to get at, Winnie?
well, I don't think that, I think got lost is a euphemism, and, like, I know the sirens have been kind of, what's the word for, not standoffish, but, like, doing their own thing?
Isolated?
Isolated. Isolated for a while, but, like, pretty sure we have Eula to blame for Scarlet not being with her family, so, yeah, just a reminder in terms of, Scarlet's childhood being shit. It was, I don't know what siren childhoods are like, but, it wasn't really their fault, as far as I know.
I'm less worried about that and more the fact that she got kidnapped.
Oh yeah, no, that's like a whole other can of sea worms.
Gross. Somehow sea worms are grosser than regular worms, and I don't know why.
Are they?
It's just like sea snakes.
Sea snakes
Which are
cute.
incredibly venomous.
I don't like
Anyway,
them.
let's go ahead and take our break then. When we come back, we will finish our journey towards Red Tide Rock and see the home of the sirens like few in Damaris have ever seen before. Stick around, folks. We will be back in about 10 to 15. And as a reminder, you can impact our game and tip this wonderful cast and our crew through our Pally, pally.gg. Anything that you give there gets evenly distributed amongst these wonderful folks, and it doesn't take the cut that Twitch does, and it shows, you know, an appreciation should you be able to do so towards these wonderful people and their acting skills. So stick around. We will be back. Enjoy our ads, breaks, stuff like that.
Bye.
Play to our games. Bye. Vast, and welcome back to Horizon's Call, everybody. I am Derek Sword. I am your GM for this game. I use he, him pronouns. I am your guiding compass. It says so on this bracelet Kaila made for me. As we
I
navigate
want
the
one of
treacherous seas of Damaris. We are going to jump right back in as the rest of the party has just learned that Kayla's character, I was going to say Kayla, but Scarlet's family still alive, on board, at least her mom. And Scarlet has had some experiences lately. You all are heading south in the Sea of Eternal Tempest towards what you believe to be Red Tide Rock, a place rarely found, or at least those who find it never return. But it is believed to be the home of the Sirens, this secretive home. What would you all like to do?
I just want to add, I just want to say, like, on that first, as we were recovering, like, when we all got back together and stuff like that,
Mhm.
Fia will, we're back at half health at this point, but she will sort of feign being a little more hurt than she is just as an excuse to lean on Proximus to get back to wherever she needs to go.
Of course, yes.
Yeah. Just as a thing. I'm like, oh, Proximus, I'm very hurt and everything is, do you mind helping me?
Oh yes, of
Poor
course.
birdie. Sad wings.
Oh yes. Just follow me this way. Yeah. Here, I will help you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're such a
Scarlet just
gentleman.
side eyes this whole thing, like, what the fuck?
And then he scoops her up.
Oh!
Like,
They've been like this. I lean over to Scarlet. They've been like this, like, the entire time.
I was only gone for a week.
They've
The
been
hell
having
happened?
Romance novels and fantasy worlds have to be like, instead of like doctor fantasy, it has to be like cleric and paladin fantasy for sure.
they've been having flying lessons together.
Look, y'all, Fia has to move fast. She doesn't stay in one place very long.
All right, fine.
That's valid. Zero judgment.
I know what I'm asking Fiat about later.
As long as it's consensual, we Gucci.
Just
Um,
not what
for
I
future
put out
reference, this is the time in which a special episode that was recorded between Mare and LD featuring Fia and Acacia in a sort of dreamlike sequence sort of deal, visiting the stars. This is when that would take place.
Yes.
So that has not been released yet as of this current stream, but will be released at some point in the future. So you can look forward to that. Also, your trip, I'll say this on stream, will take about 5 days. It is about a week's journey, and yet even your ever full sails as you're being escorted by this, what do I call it? Like flotilla
Pod?
of, yeah, I guess it is a pod, a pod of whales and sirens. Seems to further invigorate your travel with some sort of arcane magic that they are charging you all with. Seemingly like they know how to manipulate the storm itself to help you all travel twice as fast, and that goes for both ships as well. So you'll have a few days. You at least wanted to plan a meal with Scarlett's mom. What all would you like to do otherwise?
And during this time, especially mostly after that episode with Fia, Akisha's already had a really weird sleep schedule throughout the day anyway, semi-nocturnal, but semi during the day. During daytime hours, she's actually practicing her flute more. I don't think anyone has ever seen her play her flute.
We saw Acacia play with Edgar.
Oh, that's right. Thank you.
yeah.
So you've seen me play the flute once.
Let's get a performance check. Let's see how we're going along here.
I am proficient, so I can add my proficiency
Okay.
bonus to this. So performance plus flute proficiency. Oh, hey, I'm doing pretty good. I got an 18 on the die.
Okay, yeah, pretty good.
Hell yeah.
Tough to play a flute in the rain. Just gonna note that, but
It's fine.
I think, a few of the keys, a few of the fingerings are getting a little waterlogged. Not a sentence I thought I'd ever say, but you are performing very well regardless.
Nice. Perfect. Other than that, I am not doing much. I'm avoiding any sirens on board that are not Scarlet, and very contemplative.
All right. Anything from anyone else?
Winnie would like to make her usual rounds of hanging out with people who aren't too terribly busy. Specifically those gathered here. Probably pestering Scarlet a little bit in terms of I'll call a spade gossip. Just
Mhm.
where you been? What you up to? Are you sure you're okay? We missed you terribly, and like filling her in on like everything that she missed. Let's see. Should also spend some time working with the Helm of Comprehension to sort her dwarven stash of books that I assume, since she emptied the
Sure.
bag of holding, are just stacked in most of her workshop. Um,
Any topics you wanted to read up on, or is this just organization?
just organization, unless I see something that like is particularly useful to elder or um uh archaeological sites. And I know this is like pre-deluge. So yeah, like anything that would point to like interesting locations of
I would
stuff.
say you would find a book from a place that's rarely talked about anymore, pre-deluge. Nowadays, it's not talked about as much. It was talked about more pre-deluge. It is interactions and beings of the Underdark.
Okay,
Interactions with and beings of the Underdark.
Underdark. So, Winnie has never
Unterschwarz.
really Winnie's never I assume she's heard of the Underdark, but like it's never really been on her list of like
I
places
don't
to
know if
explore.
Winnie's maybe heard about it in passing. It's one of those things that nowadays is a like a boogeyman tale. Probably for elves, yeah. Like, oh, there's a place far beneath even the floor of the ocean where
Yeah.
dark elves live, and if you're not good, Winnie, like this is something your older brothers would have told you, like, hey, Winnie, if you don't behave, if you don't stop having a tantrum right now, the drow are going to come get you with their spider fingers. They'll drag you down to the dark where no one will ever be able to hear you scream.
And now Winnie has spider fingers, so they'd be like friends.
Gross.
She's thinking maybe this has all just been a big misunderstanding. Um, okay, so but like it's not like the two words Underdark, which I realize are one word, would be unknown to her. So any others that are kind of about that she'll also set to the side.
Okay.
Um and there was one more thing. Oh, balls. I guess mostly just
Working on Jeffrey.
I mean, it's 2d6
Yeah.
per mending spell, so she was done with that in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, you got
Um
plenty of time to put him back together.
yeah. Everyone else go, because I really thought there was one more thing that I wanted to do.
I think if Fia, with her incredibly high passive perception, notices that Winnie's like going to chat with Scarlet for like a vague gossip sesh, she would definitely try and butt her way into the conversation so she could also get the gossip
Sure.
because she's nosy. Not just nosy, likes to be well informed. It's important. Yeah. Flirting
Okay.
with Proximus, probably.
Of course.
Just blanketly, yeah.
So let's
If
see.
Scarlet hears it, and all just rolls her eyes and keeps walking. Scarlet would be spending half of her time being a captain, half of her time with the sirens, back and forth.
Okay. Kind of diving in, riding a whale from time to time.
Yeah, just
Okay.
mingling with both.
And you all would note that there are a number of sirens who come on board from time to time. Again, just vibrant colors of hair, kind of noting them. For those of you who remember Scarlet's bright pink hair, that was natural. The dark blue, unnatural in a sense that I can't explain to you. But you would at least know. Yeah.
I was
go
going to
ahead.
ask about that. Is the natural hair color, that vibrant hair color, common in sirens only, or is it sirens and mermaids?
So merfolk don't have like actual hair. They have more like fins that look like hair,
Okay.
or like tendrils and things like that. Like
Okay.
sirens look much more human than merfolk do, even when merfolk are bipedal.
Okay.
And that's like the thing that separates them as this. Oh, these are storm beings who, lure sailors to their doom and everything. But the vibrant colors, that is a commonality between the two. So a lot of merfolk will have very vibrant colors all over their body, like their scales and, colorations to their fins and whatnot.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. But yes, you at least know that Scarlet's mother is named Seraphina. Also, Winnie, I will say at one point you do get a knock on your door if you are working in your lab late one night, monster mashing. And if you were to open it, it is Marcus.
Hi.
Winnie,
Hello.
I needed to apologize. I had said that I was going to inform you that we had found Scarlet, that she was safe, that we were on our way, all of that. I couldn't get it to work. I kept getting, I don't know if it's the storm or if it's something to do with Red Tide Rock. There were issues with the magic. And I wanted to apologize. I did not mean for it to be a surprise. But also, one has to appreciate an entrance such as that.
Oh no, it was very cinematic. I can appreciate that. And I'm sorry, we probably should have told you a little bit better how to use it. And really best case scenario is if you couldn't get us, that you didn't get anyone else. Because if you got my brother, well, that could have just been really awkward. So, yeah. Maybe we'll show you how to use it just in case. But I mean, you found her. That's the important part. I mean, I guess she was okay, but like, you found her.
I did.
Yeah.
Rollin has like 25 missed calls or just like hang-ups.
I like to imagine it's like an answering machine, like it just, or a pager, and it just like blinks faster and faster the more messages
you just hear
there
like
are.
Marcus, like he has it in his hand, he's trying to like roll it around. It's like when you get a butt dial and it's all just cloth noises.
Yeah, you know what? Let's just go ahead and turn this off real quick, and we'll just go ahead and just give that back to Scarlet, and
And Scarlet, you all would see, and Scarlet, you would have your ruby necklace. And should you wear it or not, I guess I leave that up to you, but you would have your shell phone back.
Would have both.
Okay.
After the dinner, I don't know if we're gonna have the dinner and stuff with Scarlet's mom.
I think that was the plan, to at least
Great,
have
perfect.
a dinner. Connery would be happy to accommodate you all in the captain's quarters.
Because I still owe people a story. I figure after dinner would be a good time to do that.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and cut then to perhaps not that immediate night, since Honey needs to make something fancy. She has to make I found my family dinner. It's a very specific dinner.
Just raw fish.
But it's just raw fish.
Listen,
Some of you
it
are
could
happy,
be-
some of you are very not.
There are worse things to serve people. Raw fish is not that bad.
I'd eat it. I've eaten it.
All right. But yes, we can cut to an evening dinner. You still have a couple of days of travel left. But sitting around the table, you have Connery at the head. The officers have joined you as well as is proper for a captain's dinner. And again, you have Seraphina as well as the green-haired siren has joined her. And all of you. And food is placed before you, and you all would chat as you like. Maybe there's music. Maybe Valerie's not there anymore. Valerie and Edgar aren't there to play music, so never mind. There's not music. What would you like to discuss?
Are you saying little Jeffrey can't just be in the corner with like a little
open.
child size
DJ Jossum,
fiddle.
is this
Yeah.
He has
DJ
a
Street
speaker.
Shark?
Fine.
You know what? Sure, why not? Sure, why not?
He's just a
It's just a-
multi-tool now.
It's just a 1-minute loop of one of Valerie's songs. Just a recording.
The MIDI player.
Like how Zelda had to
Why is Jebba
blend
just
into
stuck in the 90s?
Right.
because technically I could achieve that via infusions and magic and all of that, but nothing
He
better.
just
so that's...
plays Winnie's original theme song. That's all he knows.
Like, oh my god.
It's a
I've
bop.
tried updating it. It just it won't take.
This song slaps.
I hate
Things I hate it.
I regret.
Spends too much time around Sammy, I think. Okay, so what would you like to know about us? I kind of assume Scarlet told you all about us because we're like her best friends, but we don't know anything about you. And it seems sort of rude to ask for just like your whole life story, but I'm just saying we're listening. We're good listeners.
All
I
right,
did
there we
warn
go.
them about your many questions.
I'm
About
going
your
to change music because
inquisition.
we immediately went into heavy questions. Well, I am Serafina, as I said. I am Scarlet's biological mother. I am one of the commanders of what forces are available from Red Tide Rock to defend our home, should it need defended, or assist others, should they be friends of ours. I'm not sure what all to tell you. I feel like a part of it you need to see Red Tide Rock, but I was born a siren, much as my daughter was, as all sirens are. Many years ago, I have lost track. I had Scarlet when I was younger, and lost her before I could appreciate what I had. And I am trying to make up for time now.
I have some thoughts on this whole losing a daughter thing, but I wouldn't want to bring up old trauma if it's too hurtful. But also, how does one lose a daughter like that?
Sirens are special beings in the sense that we are all born in storms. Perhaps that is aided somewhat by the Sea of Eternal Tempest, but we carry a bit of tempest within each of us. It is the magic that powers us and our song and our people. Unfortunately, storms are unpredictable things, and sometimes a storm takes and sometimes it gives. And on a day when my daughter was very young, the storm took. And it did not give back until only a few days ago.
Give back, forcibly taken from your bed. Tomato, tomato.
To that point, I apologize for kidnapping your friend and your captain. That was not my intent. She, I believe now, unintentionally gave out a distress call of sorts. Sirens are able to do so in moments of extreme duress, and we were summoned by it. And with her in a seemingly unwakeable sleep, we assumed that she was being held against her will, and so we took her in the night to make sure that whatever pirate villains we thought you were holding her could not stop us. And again, apologies for the miscommunication on that, but you have to understand that we were not looking to engage in combat with an entire pirate ship, let alone two.
We appreciate you not murdering everyone in their sleep.
That's pretty valid. Although, hold on a second. I just want to step that back a little bit. That cry was you, Scarlet?
Yeah. Yeah, that was an accident.
I heard that one.
Did you?
Impressive. Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I could do it again.
This is pretty powerful.
Let's not test it. But also, like, why didn't you wake up? That doesn't sound like... Are you okay?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine, Winnie. It's fine. I was just sleeping.
Insight check on that one.
Yeah, it's fine, because that really doesn't sound like you.
With these sorts of things, Kaila, I leave it to you if you would like to just... You can set whatever number you would like. You can roll against it. It is your character's information. So I leave that to it with these PvPs. You can tell them whatever you would like to tell them. Like I said, set whatever kind of DC you want, or you can make it a roll off.
I think prying into that is unnecessary and just a smidge rude.
Winnie
Thea just is like, what is that reaction? That's a weird reaction.
That's right. I think in a stage sort of sense, Kaila has given away, like, oh, no, nothing,
Yeah.
nothing. It's like, okay.
Winnie is just asking at face value. But if no answer is forthcoming, we'll turn her attention back to Seraphina. Do you prefer the fish or the urchin? I think Honey does a really good job preparing and showcasing both, in my opinion.
Absolutely. It's an excellent meal. It is rare that we have hot food. It's hard to prepare underneath the water.
That was something that I had a hard time getting used to also.
Mm-hmm. Yes, by the way, Triton, there were some somewhat far away from here, but closer that we had contact with before. Are you from them?
If you are talking about the Nelos, yes, that is.
No, I am not familiar with the Nelos. No, they were off to the west of here. I believe it's been some years since their empire fell.
Oh.
Infighting, as I understand.
That is, we were very isolated, if you will, from other Triton tribes, so no.
I told the story of Eula. It was all Eula's fault. All of it.
She ruined the best of us, yes.
I'm going to say yes, because all of that is true. I would also say that in addition to her probably literal war crimes, we all met and became friends and have kind of become better versions of ourselves. Right? Maybe? Well, okay, Fia, maybe not you, because you didn't really I don't know how much you...
Oh, I worked for Eula. Well, I was sort of working around
Adjacent?
Eula. Adjacent.
Yeah, she had a
sort
lot of...
third-party contractor sort of situation.
She had a lot of reach.
But I don't know that... I think just having met you all that who you are now has nothing to do with Eula.
Oh, to be fair, I don't know where I would have been if I didn't end up on the Fen.
Yeah, I meant more in a technical, she's the reason we met and bonded together sense, not so much she gave us good life lessons to learn.
Taught us not to trust anyone.
You don't trust us?
I mean, the inner circle, sure, but like people you meet, not really. No. Marcus is lucky. I trust him to be first mate.
Winnie has a lot to say. She's
Mhm.
just gonna stare Scarlet straight in the eye. Uh-huh.
What?
Yep.
Is there something I'm missing? Did I miss something?
In regards to what? Winnie's gonna eat like a large sardine-sized fish, like kind of like a noodle, and just like
We got
the
like a
tail,
seal.
the tail,
Oh,
just
no.
like still staring her in the eye.
Wendy, are you okay?
Okay, so Red Tide Rock. What should we see? This is back directed at Seraphina. What should we see? What should we do? Like, who do we talk to? Who, like, you're in the know. Like, are there garden spots? Like, is there a museum?
Good news for you, Annie.
Yes.
There are sunken ships.
I love good news for me.
Though some are off limits, some are residents.
Oh, that's
but there
fair.
are sunken ships that you can pop in and out of.
I do love popping in and out of ships.
Unfortunately, we will have to walk it a little wet to get under the surface to see the actual expanse of Red Tide Rock.
And I have to go under the water again.
Oh, I got you.
Oh no,
I
I
got you
don't.
covered.
Actually, I'm fine. I actually have a thing. I appreciate the elixirs though. I can't tell you how much those helped, but I actually have a thing that allows me to do that.
Okay, I had a different thing, but yeah, that's fine
Oh, a
too.
different thing.
Oh yeah.
I'll have to hit you up about that because I'm always curious about what you've got cooking up in your lab thing.
Yeah.
The split evil scientist part that just came
Yes.
out of Winnie. It's great.
Yes, we do have quite a collection of sunken ships, some of them who came to us through the storm, some of whom tried to fight the mighty sirens and lost. The rock itself is most magnificent from beneath the waves, much as Scarlet was saying. That is the home of most sirens. There are a few of us who go out into the world, but there is only one home for our people. And it is a beautiful one, I think. But museums, not many. Gardens, sure, significantly. We have beautiful expanses of underwater flora. We have beautiful song that you can hear at all times. It is, I think, a paradise.
Do you have a need for manatees?
A need for manatees?
They're very cute. Everybody needs cute manatees.
A need, maybe not. A want, maybe.
We'll talk more later.
There's
Family
not a lot of
business.
land around the rock for the manatees to really feed around. As I understand, they prefer more swampy or seaside areas, and we most certainly are not that.
I have a question for you, Seraphina.
Of course.
And now you've been holding on to our dear sweet cousin here for a minute. At what point did you figure out that you had kidnapped her rather than rescued her? And why did it take so long to get in contact with the rest of us to let us know that she was, like, alive and fine?
As soon as I woke up, they knew.
We did. We were not sure where the rest of you were to deliver her until Marcus arrived. And with his ship, we were able to figure out where the rest of you were based on the information that you all had provided to him. And through our own intelligences that we had been gathering for some time, we knew the Stormcaller was causing some issues within the Storm Giant Kingdom. We knew that their king was not much longer for this material plane, and we also had word of a Kraken coming into the Sea of Eternal Tempest. All of that was a logical sense to send a portion of our forces in defense. And I'm glad that we did. And I do apologize that we did not send word. The magical storm can cause issues with certain types of magic, especially divination magic from time to time. And I believe that is a little bit on me and probably a safe bit on Marcus not to throw him under the ship.
Fair enough. That answers my question about that, at least. I'm just glad to see our friends are okay.
I'd like to think more than okay.
And Scarlet was worried that I was going to be the cursed omen of her ship.
To be fair, the last time I had you on my ship, it sank.
I was not there when it sank.
You left before because you knew.
Didn't know.
You had
Just
the
didn't want to
feeling.
see Eula again. Ugh.
To be fair, not valid.
Yes, I do not blame you for that. She killed many of my scouts when we were first searching for Scarlet. It is why I was unable to find her for so many years.
Well, you don't have to worry about that anymore.
Do we
I
want to
hope
talk about what it is that the Stormcaller was?
Oh, I'm glad someone brought it up because, yeah.
Do we want to talk about that? I saw a lot of tentacles,
do I
and I saw
know
the
have any
Kraken.
clue what she was?
I would like there to not be any imitations of what we've already fought.
Is there going to be a Eula 2.0?
I would love to prevent.
A
know a
Tula,
lot.
you might say.
Hate it,
if you,
thanks.
if you would like to reason out what the
Psychic damage.
Stormcaller was doing, you may roll Arcana. Arcana makes the most sense. Maybe religion. If you got something else you'd like to use, I'm open to hearing other suggestions.
25.
Would this be considered Fey, Fiend, or Undead?
Good question. I don't know off the top of my head, so let me double check real quick here.
That was a nat 1 for 11.
I'm not going to bother rolling.
Okay.
I got a -1 modifier, so I'm just going to throw it out there. Oh, 16. Nice. Not too bad.
Neither Fey Fiend nor Undead.
Okay, perfect. Oh, ho, haha, 22.
Ooh.
Okay. Those of you who got above an 18, you would be able to reason out that Krakens can be patrons to some in the same way like a warlock patron, but Krakens have the immense power or magical ability to have others, even those who already have immense power and magical ability, serve under them. And by doing so, you kind of take a little bit of the Kraken into you. And it seems like this Storm Giantess had turned, traded her colors over to the Krakens and was becoming more a part of them the more and more she gave herself over to them. Her hair turning into tentacles, her hands becoming webbed. There likely were other physical features to her as well, with the ultimate goal of her becoming more powerful as a Kraken itself. And her using the power and the energy of, being the head of the Storm Giants to further her goals with that.
Just your average run-of-the-mill grab for power.
Unfortunately, we have received words from many of our spies out in the seas that Krakens are only amassing more and more power by the day. There seem to be several organizations, entities, several groups vying for power. There is the Leviathan Horde, The Krakens are on their own. The Leviathan Horde, of course, has the Leviathan Prophecy, which is a break-off from them. And those are just some beneath the waves, let alone those above.
Krakens are getting real wild without mommy to rein them in.
Unfortunately,
Maybe we
it
should
seems
just
so.
go hunting.
I'm not taking a Kraken down anytime soon.
Also, like, when they're not being mean, like, they have every right to exist, same as us. I don't like it, but they have the right. Question. Out of character, unless Winnie wouldn't know, in which case it would be in character. When did Eula really kind of rise to power? Was it when the deluge hit, or was it after? Or before? Or do you have any idea?
It depends on what you mean by power. Eula had been amassing power for centuries. Yeah, probably even before the deluge. She got even more power because the whole thing with Eula, because you all already learned this, the prophecy of the Great Unbeheld, the God Queen of Krakens, is she will rise to full power when Krakens rule over all of the oceans. When the world kind of flooded, that gave more opportunity. Krakens were gargantuan before the world flooded, but in the same way that there's, like animals get bigger the further down in the ocean you get, Krakens were able to grow even larger after the deluge, and thereby gain more control over the oceans, which kind of like was her gaining more and more power. She was trying to skip a few steps by getting an Elder Shard, because it turns out gaining control over all of the oceans is kind of a difficult thing to do. So that was her ultimate goal with that is, I can't get my fucking kids in line, so I might as well just see if I can, take a rare candy and level up, to mix a whole bunch of metaphors and references. But yes, that was her ultimate goal. She had been a pirate queen for a while, but she had already had that kind of like demigod power. She was kind of keeping it subtle under wraps so that nobody came and, bonked her off like y'all did.
Do we know, like, did she start out human? Was she, like, always a sea hag? Do we have any idea? It's fine if we don't, like...
I don't think any of you would know that.
Okay.
You would, like, her history is only partially written, right? Because she has been keeping in the shadows for
I'm sure a lot of it is also rumor, but okay. Yeah. In character. Were all the religion checks answered? I want to be sure I'm not jumping in.
Yeah, you kind of got the same thing, that the Stormcaller was trying to become Kraken.
Yeah, I failed that, but my question is unrelated. Okay, so it's not really my wheelhouse, but maybe some of you might know, like, say a giant, or anybody wanted to, like, rule over some maybe Kraken. Like, how do you even go about that? I'm not asking for me. I don't want to do it. I think it's a bad idea. Just to be very clear, Acacia, I see your face. I know I sometimes have some wild ideas. I want to put your mind at ease. I'm just saying, like,
I don't know how your brain works. Because it's always a surprise on what direction you go next.
Little Jeffrey skips, and his track is now like O Solo Mio for some reason. Well, so what I'm thinking is, like, do you just, like, leave a little note on a rock and chuck it into the sea, and the Krakens read it and decide whether or not they want to infect your mind or whatever? I don't know what happened. All I know is she had tentacle head.
I think that's a question for a warlock.
Okay, Scarlet.
Yes.
This is a general question. Just if we can kind of see how this step works, maybe we can also, like, prevent maybe more people from doing it. I don't know.
You know, this is a little more complicated.
You cannot keep an eye on every single person in Domaris that wants to make a pact with anything.
No, but like,
I
okay.
don't even know if my own patron has any other people under it. I could be the only one. There could be thousands of us, which is terrifying to think of. But I digress.
Weenie shivers. Okay, no, I'm not saying like we police everybody into not doing terrible ideas. Obviously, I would probably chafe under that, let's be real. But I'm just saying, like, is there some sort of indicator? Like, was there a red flag we could have seen ahead of time? Like, yeah, she was wearing gloves. Yeah, like the whole thing. But like, no, like,
there's too many variables, Winnie.
Every pact is different. Every patron is different.
Okay, yeah.
There's too much.
Speaking specifically about one patron.
No, even
to give this, we need to give this to you. You did do a detect magic and picked up that she was radiating the same type of magic that Eula used to.
But I don't know. It wasn't like a school. It was like
a vibe check.
Yeah, it was the same kind of like. I was giving you Kraken magic. Kraken magic isn't a school, but it's the same vibe that Eula was giving off.
Okay, so
I didn't know a better way to say like.
Yeah,
like maybe Proximus had done. I can't remember if Divine Sense would have picked something up too. You at least have picked up evil in
like,
with a Divine Sense.
Quasi like it's not yeah, because like they do ping like as a kind of magic-y thing.
But you can't have detect magic on at all times.
Well, no, but you can start a conversation. Yeah, I'm gonna just pull up detect magic. What does Scarlet look like now that she's back? Oh god, is it worm magic?
There's an invocation that warlocks can cast detect magic as well.
No, but Winnie is gonna go ahead and just like use her little seaweed eye drops and take a good hard look at Scarlet to just kind of get a baseline. Like, not every warlock, well, she doesn't know, so like this is her using the scientific method. What does Scarlet look like?
I think in the same way that like intense magical beings give off an aura, and all of you when you're not casting don't necessarily give off as much. Scarlet would probably give off the same aura that she did before. You know, it's amorphous kind of color because she's not casting any school of magic at this point. But what I'm trying to say is like
her mom.
The storm. No, Scarlet, because Scarlet's a warlock, so she'd be giving off a different vibe than that. But what I'm trying to say is like the Stormcaller was actively trying to become a Kraken. Yes. She was actively engaging in magic at all times to transform her body, which is why she was pinging so much more. Yeah, Scarlet is near the same that you've ever seen. Maybe the color changed a little bit after your visit to Dionysi, but she is still a warlock as far as your detect magic would be able to tell.
Yeah, Winnie's just using the scientific method, probably called something different, scientific and magical method, to
the Winnie method.
The Winnie method to start working out some sort of
Winnie
theory.
What if you, because you can, what is the word I'm trying to find? Embed magic into items, correct?
Yes, we usually call it infusing, but really embedding works too.
What if you were able to make a pair of goggles that would detect magic and you just put them on?
Yes, you can do that. My friend has a pair of goggles like that. In theory,
if that's what we're going to go with, at least wins out what we can figure out for Kraken followers, maybe the intense ones in the first place.
I mean, it just seems like if they're coming back, you know, like they seem to have it.
Or like maybe we can make something. Okay, this is Kaila talking for a moment. The things that detects radiation.
Yeah, Geiger counter.
Yes, make that, but for Kraken magic.
Kraken counter.
It'd be a little more complicated.
It's like
Yeah.
Ghostbusters and aliens together.
Yeah.
They're right on us, man.
Michael, I do want to give you this, Proximus. The Triton people that I was talking about, that Seraphina was talking about, are the Sinis, which is Xinis. Yes, Xinis. The Sinis. What did I say? Kingdom.
And that is the first time that Proximus has heard of that
Yes.
tribe.
You might
he's
have
heard
seen
of
it
other
'cause
tribes.
there was a while back, again on Dionysi, when you were flipping through your pamphlet, that might have been one that was listed on there, but like so far west of where you were, I'm not even sure if Proximus would have even noted it on his map, because it's still a pretty decent ways from where you are right now. It'd probably be, let's see, was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably 50 days travel to get to Sinis. It's like south of Silver's Hope, a couple of weeks south of Silver's Hope. So anyway, just wanted to give that to you. Seraphina does look around at all of you. You all are very interesting statisticians, I should note.
And I told you we were an interesting group.
You have, I think, very good ideas, unique ideas on solving unique problems.
But we were not here to talk about what the storm color was. I realized. But did anyone else have anything they wanted to ask Seraphina? Before we get to Red Tide Rock?
Or if I am too intimidating, you may ask my first in command, Coralia. She has been sitting here ever so silently. And she references the green-haired siren.
Aurelia?
Yes, that is my name.
That's a lovely name.
Thank you. Push its hair back.
Side shave, right? Feels like a side shave.
Not everyone can have a side shave.
I know.
Why not?
Because that's not the only sexy hairstyle. You're stereotyping.
Undercut.
My fiance across in the other room would beg to differ.
Okay, so what is your favorite spot in Red Tide Rock? At Red Tide Rock? Do you go in the rock? Like, is it hollow?
Yes. No. It is cavernous.
That was confusing.
Perhaps. Is it? Well, there are caves, Winnie. It does not, but that does not make something hollow.
True.
The rock itself is a softer type of rock, which is actually what causes the red tide. Is the rock is red, and the clay and sediment from it is actually what colors the water around it red. It is not blood, I assure you.
Oh, darn.
But several of us live within natural caverns and caves within the rock itself. There is a wonderful cave network that exists within the rock, and many of us reside in there. Those that don't typically live in homes that they have made around the base of the rock, which is much larger beneath the waves, or they live in the sunken ships, which decorate our area. But my favorite place is when I am able to climb to the very height of the rock and look out at the sprawling expanse of stormy sea around me. It's very beautiful.
Winnie's gonna make a note.
That sounds like my kind of place right there.
You would very much like to perch there. It is a good place for perching.
It taught me how to bask up on the rocks without falling off in the tide.
It is a skill that many sirens must acquire, which is to jump up onto the rock just as the wave crashes behind you and flip your hair back.
It's sarcasm. Don't listen to her.
I want to try it
Okay.
with the hair flipping.
Okay.
Just two little space buns, just a belly flopping hammerhead shark. Any other main conversations that you would like to have throughout this dinner?
Not for me for the dinner. There are 2 points I would like to touch on before we get to Red Tide Rock, but not for the dinner.
Okay. Well, with a few days left of travel, Winnie, what are those points?
I was gonna say I do owe everybody a story after the dinner, though.
Okay, well let's do that first. So, Fia, you have a story?
I do. Well, as I promised Proximus, and I figured since we have sirens here, they may be able to add some context. I knew you all once wondered why I called Scarlet cousin. I figured now was as good a time as any. Interesting, given the discussion about Kraken, though, I think. Because my story that I was told is that once upon a time when the world was younger than it was now, I'm guessing long, long before the deluge, sirens were the rulers of the ocean. That is what I have been told. And one day a group of young princesses, curious and reckless in the way of all young things, decided to play a game. They dared each other to poke their head above the surface of the waters. The bravest among them did so, and what they saw took their breath away. They saw another ocean, big and beautiful and expansive, and they decided it was a waste to only rule the sea below when they could conquer the sea above. So, the young princesses went out, and through a series of trials and tasks, much like you always find in tales such as these, they managed to trade their fins for feathers, and thus became the first of the Harpies. And thus the Harpies and the Sirens are family, which is why I heard that call, Scarlet. There's your story.
I love that so much.
It was the same story that I'd heard as a young girl.
Glad
So
to
there's
hear
likely
it.
some truth to it.
Well, if it's shared between the two of us, then it must be true, or at least parts of it.
At least parts of it.
The reason I like that story, too, is knowing that the Sirens were the rulers of the ocean. Very powerful. That is why I have always liked you, cousin.
I use borrowed power.
Yeah, I know. Probably don't need it as much as you think you do, though.
We are working on that.
It's always okay to ask for help.
Can any of you sing like a siren does?
From what I understand, you don't have to sing.
No, but it helps. If you hear squawking from the Cross's Mercy, please disregard completely.
I know how to play the flute. We can talk to Edgar.
I don't think Edgar likes me very much.
He likes you more than you think.
Maybe.
Sammy looks over from down the table. Did someone say squawking?
Maybe Sammy can help me, who knows?
All right.
You
Well,
sing sometimes, Sammy, don't you? I've heard you at the Flintons.
Just imagine Scuttle from The Little Mermaid.
Oh my god.
Wah, wah, wah.
Wah.
Wah, wah.
Yeah, here I am. I'm going to have to Google what an albatross song sounds like. I'm sure it's terrible.
With an Australian accent.
He's Kiwi.
No, he can fly, so he's not a Kiwi.
Uh-huh. Albatross song. All right, while I'm doing this, Winnie, you had a couple of things you wanted to do?
I don't need to go into it too much unless you have reason to, but just I would also like to be spending time when my eyes start to cross with the Helm of Comprehend Languages. I would like to be spending time on Acacia's sphere, star sphere,
Okay.
and keeping up, I guess, a little bit on my elder. Not lessons in as much as like talking with Scarlet, because I don't feel like now's really the right time for that. But like private, private practice, whatever. That's a doctor thing, but you know what I mean.
If you started to make my sphere, if I'd probably like assist and start getting like the star charts in place as you make it as we go.
Yeah, it would start with like a clay base just for like blocking, and then building out from there. But what did you want the stars to be made of? Gems, right?
Crystals?
Crystals? Yeah.
Like
okay.
Like clear or blue? Well, I'll gather them.
What if different stars were different things? Like some are bigger than others, right? Like what if the like really important ones were one color, like blue, and other ones, little ones, were like white? To make it easier.
I'll get you a chart with the corresponding crystals.
Yeah, and then I'll see what I can find at Red Tide Rock, or back when we get to Montour, or somewhere. We'll find good stuff. And then also probably just like take a pair of her old like goggles that she's not currently using, and like just chalk in like the idea of detect magic goggles. Sure. For like a bookmark for later.
Okay. Just for posterity, albatrosses, according to Google, make a variety of whining, squeaking, grunting, and moaning calls. And I did listen to a video, and it's not great. So, yeah, let's say Sammy is not a natural performer. Okay.
At least among non-albatross type.
Yeah. He's the albatross Pavarotti. We just can't.
Oh yeah, he's the Adina Menzel of albatrosses, but none of you would know that. He's the Adele Dazeem. God, I'm old. All right. Anything else anybody wanted to do before we got to Red Tide Rock? Cool. The storm unbreaking, as you are in a sea of eternal tempest, carries you all forward with the two ships side by side, with a navy, an armada of a pod of merfolk and whales, sperm whales and humpback whales, all traveling together. And at the end of the fifth day, or let's say probably midday on the fifth day, hard to tell when you can't really see the sun, aside from perhaps when it's rising or setting just over the horizon with the rain and everything, but you would see Red Tide Rock. And it is this large rocky spire, almost. Not pointed, but it comes to kind of flat mesa at the top. And it extends upwards out of the ocean for about 100 feet, with a few other smaller islands and crags that pop up as well. In fact, you would note that Connery has been informed, as well as Marcus or Scarlet, whoever is commanding on Cross's Mercy, has been advised not to hold the steering wheel of the ship, as the whales themselves are navigating the ship in between rocks that would otherwise be unseen, that likely sunk many of the ships that are beneath you. If you would look over into the stormy seas, you would see that there is red sediment which colors them red. And perhaps if you were to look deeper than that, you would see just a field of wrecked wooden ships all scattering the bottom. And yet, as you get closer, you hear this song, this soft, melodious chorus, all coming from the rock itself. For Acacia and Fia, this might sound similar in a sort of way to something you both experienced recently. It's not the same as the Elder song, and yet there is like it's almost like a cover of that song. And yes, you would see that there are sirens on rocks with their tail fins or some in their bipedal form. And they all watch as you come into not really a port, but at least to a stop where you can drop anchor. And as your ships come to a stop and the rock is ahead of you, Seraphina nods to Scarlet, gives her one last hug, and dives over the side into the water. What would you all like to do?
While we are kind of rolling in, a couple hours, like between a couple hours from then and as we're rolling in, Winnie would like to change her tinker's tools into painter's tools, and draft up a couple of her experimental elixirs, her regular ones, not the chaos one. And she's gonna drink the chaos one.
Okay.
Specifically,
it worked out well for you last time.
Specifically an hour before, yeah.
A D100, please.
Oh god, I did forget. I did forget what happened last time. How quickly we forget.
How quickly you forget. We remember.
It was Jeffrey and I. Jeffrey and I forgot. That is a 41.
When
Am I a gnome?
No. What is the last thing that you ate?
Well, she would have had breakfast, so
Sure.
Probably some sort of, I don't know, fish paste on hardtack. What does honey usually porridge with regular? Oh no, she's got all that honey. Toast with honey.
Toast with honey. Weirdly enough, you don't typically get this reaction from toast with honey. You feel very gassy all of a sudden.
Oh no.
More like belchy, like you've just had a bunch of carbonated something or other. And you give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no. But I'm cute. Do I get advantage?
Oh.
That would be a 17.
Okay. It's a little burp. Which is foggy. And are you I'm assuming you're in your little lab area?
Which has a vent, canonically. Just in case I need it.
That's useful, as you can belch a fog cloud once per day. This will not count as your one per day, but you have let out a little fog cloud which has filled this room and is slowly being ventilated out. Give me a D4 roll, please.
That would be a 1.
Okay, so you can cast it one. You can do a fog cloud once. You get one day of it.
Okay.
Choose wisely.
Uh-oh. Okay. Yeah, I will otherwise just take my painter's tools and my elixirs and go up on deck and watch the red tide rock roll in.
Nice alliteration.
Yep.
Fia would, as soon as the rock comes into sight, would would take off from the crow's nest and make a beeline for the top of the rock, or at least the highest peak she can get to.
Yeah. Yeah, you could absolutely get to it's maybe a 10-foot like flat surface at the top. Because it really juts up almost like a spear, it kind of comes to a narrowing at the top. And yeah, you absolutely would be able to get up there 100 feet above the waves and look out onto the stormy expanse all around you.
I'm just delighted to be on ground that doesn't move all the time. She'll just hang out there until everybody else comes in, but she's gonna
Sure.
spend as much time there until yeah.
All right. Everybody else, what are we doing? Diving in, hanging out?
Seeing Fia take off, he is going to move much slower, but he is going to follow her to the tip top of the rock.
And Proximus joining Fia up there, you would be able to land securely and see the same vast expanse of sea in every direction. There's really no islands nearby. It's just storm all around and raging seas. That seems so much calmed in this area, and that you can still hear the song where you are as well, which seems to play with, not against the storm.
Hello there.
Hello. You once asked me if the fish and the bird fell in love and where they would live.
Huh? Have you given a thought to that riddle?
Oh, yeah. Way too much, actually, probably. Over and over, it runs through my brain, but standing upon this rock and looking at you and seeing the ocean and where it meets the sea, anywhere that those two places come harmoniously together is where the bird and the fish will live, where they will always meet, where the storm meets the beautiful rainbows. That is where we shall both live. Now, I do understand that these don't happen to collide all the time. But when they do, they are beautiful.
Proximus. That's beautiful. I'll admit I was looking for a slightly more practical answer than that. But
Yeah.
you're quite the romantic.
And I have something for you.
Oh.
I don't know how long you will be along with us, but I just wanted you to have it. Maybe it might protect you someday. And he hands her a piece of his armor, the other hip piece that he no longer uses, now that when he has one on her shoulder. Let this be something of a protectorate for you. While you're on your journeys, part of our people, we hand these to people that are important to us that come and cross in our lives.
Never been given a gift before.
Never.
Not once.
Well, let this be the first time. And hopefully it happens often for you. You deserve it.
Proximus. Flyboy.
Yes.
Is it alright if I kiss you?
I am not proficient in this thing, so
Yes, but don't judge me upon it.
Oh, I'm sure you'll do just fine. And she does.
Beautiful. Wonderful. As
Fade to
Proximus gains
black.
proficiency in kissing.
Scarlet is absolutely spying on the edge of the fucking Cross's Mercy.
Once
Leaning
a
on-
day for a year.
Leaning on the rail, just
Thea has no shame whatsoever.
The highest point you. All right. Well, what are the rest of the perverts, you all perverts, doing?
Excuse you.
Scarlet said she was staring. I'm not including Acacia in this.
I wasn't looking at the other Derek.
That's all right. They backed up. They're not on the edge. You can't see them. It's a terrible
Little
point of view.
Jeffrey absolutely is. That's worse.
Little telescope eyeballs.
It's like having a cat trapped in the bedroom with you.
Oh gosh.
Oh no.
Old Jeffrey tugs
staring
at
at
Winnie's
me?
pant leg. Mother, I've
Not-
hit puberty.
No. When he's like staring at the sea and like the rocks and like looking at all the other sirens, like not now, little Jeffrey, not now.
Mother,
I
tell
was
me of
looking at
birds
the
and
cute
bees.
stuff, not the weird stuff.
Tell me of birds and bees, Mother.
What? There's no birds or bees.
There is one bird.
There is one bird. I might be
The
able to
wings
turn
would
into
have
a
also
bee.
like wrapped around and like
Yes,
But
there's
also-
nobody looking at you. Y'all are fine.
It's fine.
This is a terrible fade to black as we discuss it. The rest of you, what are we doing?
You can go first, Winnie. I was reading something. So have we quote unquote docked? Are we where we are?
Have we anchored?
Yeah, you've anchored. You come to a stop. The ships are a couple, maybe like 30 feet from the edge of the rock, and are kind of nestled between a lot of little outcroppings. It's kind of like there's not a lot of space for ships around here, which is why they sink so often. But you have been escorted very gently to this stopping point. Anchors dropped. You're not going anywhere.
Winnie's gonna run to the opposite side of the ship, to wherever it's like deepest, and just jump feet first over the side. Because if you can't tell the water depth, it's probably best not to go head first.
Yeah, you saw that Seraphina jumped over, so you're probably just fine. Fantastic. Winnie, you dive into the water beneath where the red surface is, and somehow there's light. There's a lot of bioluminescence beneath the waves here, which seems to kind of grow in this otherwise stormy and almost sediment covered surface. But as you break through, you see this kingdom. It's not a kingdom, but this land of light. You see the rock extends so much further down than you ever anticipated. It's almost like an iceberg in a sense, where it's so much larger and expansive beneath the waves. But you see that there are hundreds, based on a quick count of ships sunken beneath there, almost as far as the eye can see. Various types, various builds. There are sirens swimming all about with their a variety of hair colors. There are merfolk as well. It is not only sirens here. And Seraphina is waiting a little bit of distance below from where you just dove in, with a merfolk at her side.
I'm just gonna like spin around like a synchronized swimmer, taking it all in. I'm gonna give it like a 30 count. Little Jeffrey would probably be with me. And if no one joins me, I'm just gonna go on down where everyone else is going. Everyone else not from the ship, I guess.
Yes. Acacia, Scarlet, are you all diving in, or is there something else you would like to do?
Acacia actually probably stays on the ship. There's really nowhere to, one, really move for Acacia on the actual rock itself. Also, it'd probably not be safe with hoofs at all.
Yeah, probably not.
So, and honestly, the sirens do make her a little uncomfortable, so she's staying solidly on that ship today.
I will say real quick, I know this doesn't apply to Acacia, but anyone crew member wise, and I also got the impression that Fia didn't need it, but anyone crew member wise who would like it or need it before Winnie went over the side, she would cast water breathing for up to 10 creatures, excuse me. So she would do that, then she would do the jumping thing. Just as a heads up.
Yeah, from the Cross's Mercy, Scarlet would take note of who was going into the water. Just to head count. Be like, okay, cool. Don't do dumb shit. Don't be dumb. Don't be dumb.
All dear gathered sailors. Aye, miss.
They will get speared.
Definitely a safety brief before you leave.
You've seen how scary I am. Multitude
Yeah.
that by about 1,000. Have fun. Be safe.
Don't add to the population. Don't take away from the population.
Don't add to the population.
Right.
Don't subtract from the population.
Scarlet's scary, but imagine a siren who actually knows what she's doing.
Grabs a fish, bites its head off, throws it at their feet.
Is this recent all of a sudden? Did we have a conversation ahead of time in this 5 days or whatever that we've had about are we meeting somewhere? Are we hanging out? Are we on our own recognizance till dinner? What are we doing?
Acacia does not want to girly get in the water, especially after hearing about the underwater caverns of the rock.
I feel like it's just self-exploring until proven otherwise.
Great. Winnie's fucking gone.
Yeah, figured.
Sorry.
Bye.
Before Scarlet jumps into the water and dives in, she will take off a new captain's coat, a teal one.
Fancy.
That is better fitted. It is not a hand-me-down. The red hand-me-down from Connery is gone. She will look towards Marcus and just gesture. Are you joining?
I think it's only proper that I do so.
Come on, let's go meet the parents again.
Scarlet, with your...
Wasn't bad the first time.
Yeah. Scarlet, with your teal and gold, which does a very nice matching with your now gold dragon sails that you have. You dive in with Marcus, who does have the helm of water breathing, I believe. That was a hand-me-down from Acacia.
I think it was a helm of underwater action.
Helm of underwater action, that's what it is. He dives in with you. And Scarlet, again, you would see both of your parents. Your mother, Seraphina, in her full merfolk siren with a tail form, and your father, Dalen, who is probably where you got your pink hair from, as he has this vibrant blue and purple vibrant blue and pink coloration, especially to where the fins where his hair would be are. And they are waiting for you beneath the ocean as you see Winnie just swimming off in some gods know where direction. Acacia still on the deck, Proximus and Fia in a sphere of darkness on the top of the rock.
There doesn't exist anybody right now.
Yeah. You
Eventually.
Your parents greet you. And your father and your mother kind of taking a shoulder with one hand each. Now that your friends are here, I was wondering if this might be the time to... Your father is wondering if this might be the time that we talk about breaking the chains that you have. You're in a safe place, and there's no reason that you should be tethered to anything that you don't want to be tethered to.
Seeing as how I don't think this is a battle I can do on my own.
You are not alone, and you never will be again. You are safe here, and you have power in you that is so much greater than what you know. You don't need to rely on a master, for you should never answer to something that is lesser than you.
The only concern is that, yes, I am safe here in Red Tide. But what about what happens when I'm not here?
We will teach you to defend yourself on your own fins and 2 feet. You have been lied to your entire life and told that you are not great enough or powerful enough, and I promise that is so far from the truth. If you would like, this is not something we will ever force on you, and we love you regardless of where your magic comes from, but I just need you to know that there is magic within that is just as great.
Then let's break them.
And that is where we're going to end this week. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for another episode of Horizons Call. Thank you to LD for joining us as long as she was able to. We appreciate Fia being here so very much. And I will get the whole story of what Fia does, where Fia goes, all those things for next time. Thank you to Kaila for joining us again. And again, congratulations to Kaila for her engagement. We're so glad to have you back and have Scarlet back. I'm very excited for this next chapter. Thank you to all of you for joining us. Again, if you appreciate this cast and are able to, you can tip them through pally.gg. We have an account there. And yeah, anything that you were able to tip gets evenly distributed to these wonderful folks and any crew that we have. It is just, you can impact our game. It'll impact the next game. You can always donate in the middle of the week as well. Always gets paid forward, and you can do some pretty hefty impacts, especially if you wanted to do a black spot and make things a little more complicated for next time. That said, I am Derek Sword. I use he, him pronouns. I have been your GM, your guiding compass. Again, my bracelet says so, it's official. As you navigate the treacherous seas of Damaris. I am going to have these lovely people go around, say a little bit about themselves, where you can find more of them, and I highly suggest you do that. So let's go ahead and start out, Mare, if you don't mind.
Hello, I'm Mare. You can find me on all applicable social media such as Twitter, Blue Sky, and Tumblr at Archmage of Dice. I'm not doing a lot of stuff right now. I'm here every single Saturday that we run and play at 6 p.m. Eastern, playing your lovely Centaur Acacia. And over on in October, next month, at the very end of the month, on the 26th, that's a Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, I will be running a game of Sunken to raise money for Oceania, which this game is still casting for, which I'm sure Derek will talk about it. But if you want to live the horrors of the ocean and everything that comes with it, and want your character to die a probably disturbing death, sign up for my game. It's going to be great.
Definitely all those things. It's going to be. It's guaranteed it's going to be. I have been in at least one Sunken game with Mare, and it's
terrifying.
It's fantastic time.
I've only had one game so far that people didn't completely all die, like all the players didn't die, but Anik made it so her navigation equipment kept circling back to the same place, so they eventually died anyway. It's just not it's a fun time, but it's not a fun time for your characters.
Death is the best option. I will leave that there. I've been in games where there is much worse fates than death.
Don't get too attached.
Like constantly drowning.
Yeah. Yes, I will get to applications for that stuff when it is my turn, but until then, Eva.
Hi, hello, I'm Eva. I am your other half of Sword and Key. I also sometimes run games on this channel, such as the upcoming, I believe it's a Friday morning Pacific time anyway, one shot of Drama Llamas in October. And other things that I have on the back burner until my desktop is fixed.
We'll
Other
get
than
there.
that, you can find me here every Saturday, just about. And I every other Sunday. I think we have 2 more sessions of Brindlewood Bay. Um, once we can schedule those. So, yeah, you can find me. I will link my beacons at some point. Today's not that day. On Twitter at the Evasariate and a lot of other places at Evasariate.
Yeah. Beacons.ai/Eva fantastic. Thank you, Eva. Next up, our wonderful guest. Unfortunately, the last time we're going to have you here, but LD.
Hi, everybody. I'm Lady Dame or LD. You can find me everywhere that's important. Twitter, Twitch, Blue Sky at the Lady Dame. It's the last, I know it's the last time for now. It's been such a pleasure getting to bring back Fia and getting to play with these amazing people. So please support them because they just do incredible things. I stream, you can find me on my own channel mostly. I stream Sunday nights and Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Pacific. I play a lot of story games and visual novels. We're playing Stray Gods right now for good queer musical theater god stuff, and Penny Larceny Gig Economy for more visual novels. I also stream Mondays during the day from noon to 4 p.m. Pacific, playing some Dragon Age. We're doing daytime Dragon Age, and it's going fine. You can also find me this Sunday, right? It's Sunday that it comes out. On tomorrow. Oh my God. The newest episode of Monster Crush, where Derek introduces me to all of the very sexy D&D lycanthropes that exist.
All the not sexy ones too.
Yeah. All the not sexy ones too. I mean, I was gonna say they're all sexy, but ooh, y'all, there are some that are super not. So yes, that's coming up on Sunday. You can find that wherever you can find wherever you listen to podcasts. I think on Monster Crush, you should listen to Monster Crush. It's great. I think that's all I've got going on at the moment.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Mikyl.
Hi, fam. I'm Mikyl. You can find me and all the art that I do on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky now. Thank you, LD, and Tumblr also. I do some art there at Mikyl Sandoval. Look me up. Google me. I actually don't. And then, yeah, so I do some art. I post most all of it onto the Sword and Key Discord channel. And so if you want to check it out, that's probably the best place to check it out and get a hold of me. And I'm right here every Saturday playing Proximus. My favorite himbo.
Yes, please go check out Mikyl. And as always, I forgot to say this at the top, a thank you to Mikyl for doing the artwork for this game, for all the PCs, many of the NPCs. It's all phenomenal. Michael's been working on another one of the NPCs recently, so I'm very excited to share that once it's finished. Looks fantastic. Can't wait. Last but absolutely not least, again, a special welcome back and a congratulations to Kaila.
If I can unmute my mic. Hi, hello. I'm Kaila. I've been your Siren Warlock Scarlet Shores for now. You can find me here on Twitch at KMC. You can find me in most social medias, KMC. If you can't find me there, add an underscore at the end. I have many faces in many places in the TTRPG space, as well as streaming on my own channel. I do painting and whatnot. No video games for now, just painting and stuff. Life's been really busy, if you didn't notice. Life's been real fucking busy. But I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to celebrate all good things with all good friends. So we might be planning Horizons Call weddings soon. I don't know. We'll see.
You know what? Enjoy the engagement. You only get so long to call somebody your fiance. And enjoy
it's still a little weird, not gonna lie.
Yeah. Don't let anybody rush you.
Almost 3 weeks later, still a little weird.
Just make sure you add the extra E because that is that's how you spell it.
I'm just lucky my phone finally stopped correcting it to finance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was finance for a few days.
Thank you to this wonderful cast. As always, thank you to all of you for joining us. From the bottom of my heart, for me, for Sword and Key, it means so very much that you joined us for this game. Some stuff for Sword and Key, speaking. Well, let me do my stuff first. I'm Derek Sword. Like I said, I use he, him pronouns. If you want to find me, beacons.ai/sword and key. You can find all my socials there, but most of the stuff I do is for Sword and Key or Monster Crush or the other things that I run. So check out Monster Crush. It is a podcast that I typically do with my friend Heavenly, and I am very lucky that I got to record with LD recently. But Monster Crush is a bi-weekly trans-dimensional Pandora's box of monster love. We talk about different cryptids, creatures. Like I said, with LD, we are talking about D&D lycanthropes, so all of those, they got some weird lore behind those. But yeah, we just explore cryptids and creatures and see how smoochable they are. Some of them more than others. But you can find that wherever podcasts are found. And yes, for Sword and Key stuff, we have a number of applications that are out currently. Again, you can see all of those at beacons.ai/sword and key or on all of our socials, which is Blue Sky, Instagram, Twitter. You can see all of the applications there. There are 3 applications for 6 different games. Those games, and I will actually just go ahead and give you dates for stuff and everything now. So
I forgot to pitch my own game. I'm not used to this.
I'm going to pitch a game. You're good. So we have a 12-week campaign of Humblewood that I will be running. It's Humblewood, The Unwanted Winter. That is going to be starting on October 8th, and that'll be 10 a.m. Pacific time every Sunday starting on the 8th. We also have, starting in October, one shot of Lycanthropes, which is a 1-page game. I will be running that again, 10 a.m. October 1st, 10 a.m. Pacific time, October 1st, which is a Sunday. The next thing we have is Mara, which is October 8th at 6 p.m. Pacific. That is a 2-person game that I'll be running with Kaila, and it's about a person and their nightmare, the monster under their bed, as they transition between the several stages of sleep and experience the darkness of nightmares, the light of dreams, and the surrealness of all of it. It's going to be a very fun time. Kaila is then running on Friday, October 13th. Friday the 13th. Kaila grabbed that one early. At 5:30 p.m. Pacific time, a one-shot of the TTRPG Actual Cannibal Shia LaBeouf, just in case you might be familiar with that video and or song. After
What time is that one?
That is 5:30 p.m. Pacific time on Friday the 13th. So if you need something spooky to do and you're not being chased by a hockey masked freak,
It's real silly.
Watch a game about an actor freak. Next, we have Drama Llamas, run by the lovely Eva. That is going to be October 20th. It's again a Friday. That is 10 a.m. Pacific time. And then after that, on Sunday the 22nd, I am running a Night of Fright, which I believe is also... No, that's got to be at like... I didn't actually put a time on it, but it's got to be like 3 p.m. or something like that.
It's 3.
I
That's
have
on the
Humblewood
form.
in the afternoon. So, yes, it is on the form. A Night of Fright is a D&D one-shot that is D&D Scooby-Doo. It's very fun, pre-generated characters. So you can play Scooby was Noel, and Fred is Sir Frederick. He's a half-orc of like the Oath of Traps or something like that. It's very fun. And then the last thing that we have is Mare running a 4 p.m. Pacific time game of Sunken, and that is on Thursday, 26th of October. All of those games that I listed, with the exception of Humblewood, are going to be benefiting Oceana.org, which is a wonderful organization that works to preserve, protect, and otherwise just benefit the world's oceans. And the oceans are terrifying, but also beautiful, so they deserve protection, but also are spooky for October. Horizons Call, back every week, as far as I know, unless hell or high water. Although, you know, people can absolutely call out. That's fine. But it will be back 3 p.m. Pacific time next week and every Saturday for the God's no foreseeable future. Monster Crush releases tomorrow and every other Sunday after that, again, wherever podcasts are found. And again, Brittlewood Bay will be back when it is back. Life has thrown some curveballs at some cast members, and we always prefer that people take care of themselves first and foremost. I believe that is it. I should note that all the casting calls for those 6 games are closing September 9th. So make sure that you get your applications in. Again, you can find them on any of our socials as well as beacons.ai/sword and key. Scroll down and see all the casting calls there.
Brindlewood Bay should be back next Sunday. Just to check that.
Yeah, we will. You know what? Join our Discord. You can do that through beacons.ai as well, and we will update you on all of our stuff there. You can even see our calendar, and you can keep updated on all the future games and anything going on. And then you can also follow our socials. Again, Blue Sky, Instagram, Twitter. We always try to keep people updated on the ongoing stuff there. So, I think that's a lot of stuff, but we're excited to be doing a lot of stuff. So again, thank you to LD for joining us for as long as she did. This has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you to all of you for joining us. And until next time, take care of yourselves, folks.
We're rating Valdrianth.
Yes, thank you. Yes, we are rating Valdrianth. Valdrianth is running a game of Mass Effect right now. Mass Effect TTRPG, I should note. And they are running an Extra Life charity I think marathon, really, which several of these folks have already participated in, which is awesome. So we're rating Valdrianth. Please go show some support over there. It's very much appreciated. And yes, take care of yourselves, folks. Till next time, fair winds, following seas.
Bye.